Welcome to another episode of Late Night at the Movies on the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. This is episode 68, Coherence. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Max, and we're got the usual guys, JT and Nico.
What's going on?
What's up, guys? And we got special guest Alan today.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, man? First time on the show.
His house.
Welcome, Alan.
Welcome, Alan. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It was work in the background for a while, so I have to say that was first time we're using that intro from Julie. Just made us a new intro. It reminds me of Tyler the Creator, and
Nice.
And how creative he is.
how creative it is. Julie, if you see this, that was just some random inside
That was an
joke,
inside
right?
joke prior to recording, and
But,
sure you could tell where it was who contributed to that one in its own mumbly way.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, shout out to Julie. That was a really fun
really
intro.
fire
And
intro.
Julie unfortunately is unable to join us here today for this one, but she had to cancel. But that being said, yeah, thank you for that because we got a cool outro video as well. So make sure to stick around to the end of the episode.
So I guess the bottle span to me, and so for my pick, I decided to bring my good friend over here, Alan. You know, Alan is like me, like we're both really into movies, like all of us, I guess.
Love
and
movies.
yeah, we love them, bro. We love them.
Yeah.
So this is your pick, Alan. Coherence. Why don't you tell us when was the first time you saw it, and what made you pick this movie for the show?
So first time I watched Coherence, I was just looking for like any movie, just something new that I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a deep search online. I managed to hear a lot about this weird movie that honestly was kind of categorized as like a horror, but it's not really. I mean, you can kind of see it as a horror in a way. But honestly, I did end up finding it on Prime afterwards when someone on Reddit recommended it. I think I saw it in 2015, like around there.
Okay, well.
Yeah, and dude, the movie blew my mind completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, like phenomenal movie to me.
So you've been like recommending this movie to me for years. You're actually the only person I think who's ever actually talked to me about this movie, because when I brought it up to these guys, I don't think anyone had ever heard of it.
Well, I got something to say on that once we get to me. Yeah,
I don't think they heard of it unless I'm mistaken. And then but I know this is sort of like par for the course for you and I when it comes to like recommending each other movies. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we don't check each other's recommendations until like years down the line and stuff. He's really been asking me to see this movie for
is that right?
for a bunch of years. And
Yeah,
so
it's been a long time coming.
there's just so much stuff out there, so it's kind of
Yeah.
it kind of gets
Oh yeah.
thrown to the wayside a bit. But I'm glad that I finally got to check this one out and that you picked this one. But when I did see this on like Letterboxd, like on the page, this is on the first page of the year that it came out, 2013, and so like it is a popular film within that community. It's just me personally, I just never came across it, you know. And
Yeah.
it's.
I
So
feel
what
like
do
a
you-
lot of people don't really like hear about it. It's definitely kind of like a hidden gem, I feel.
A smaller budget film, of course, that needs to
Yeah.
be quoted. Smaller. This is another thing. I don't remember the last time this has happened when I seen a movie where I didn't know a single cast member.
I knew two people in
Say,
this.
that's
Xander from Buffy being the number one.
Who's
or
that?
the Mike. He plays Mike
Oh,
in
Mike.
this
Oh, that
movie.
guy's amazing.
My favorite character.
I don't-
the Kevin guy looks familiar too.
Yeah.
Who's
Well,
Kevin again? Oh, the boyfriend.
The
main-
boyfriend of the main character.
right.
I didn't really do deep dives in all of their IMDb's, but offhand, I only recognize the two people, the main ones, Mike and M. I also I've seen and stuff. I feel like, but Mike is he's the guy who plays Xander in Buffy the Vampire Slayer
the show or the movie?
The show.
Yeah, I never
yeah,
seen.
yeah,
I've
which
never
is-
seen that either.
Okay, that was I watched that show growing up, right?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, no, I was gonna say that when Max had mentioned this was the next pick on our last episode, and then you were coming on, and this is gonna be the pick. I said at that time, I was like, oh no, it doesn't ring a bell. I don't know what movie this is. I actually have seen this movie, but I didn't recognize it from the title, and I like what Alan said about it technically being classified as a horror because once September hits, like, around now leading into October, I usually watch a lot of horror movies around this time. And I do a lot of like deep dives on people's lists of things recommended online, or like even like psychological horror movies or like horror movies. And a couple of years ago, I saw this on some lists. And this is where I originally first came across this film. And then, so that I haven't, I forgot that I had seen it until I turned it on, and I was like, you know what, I have seen this movie, because I didn't recognize it from the title. But then about like 10-15 minutes in, I was like, oh yeah, I have seen this. And then I started explaining the plot. I was watching it with Christine. She's like, yeah, this is that one. And then so I have seen this a couple years ago, but it's because this was on people's lists online that I saw of like best horrors of that year, or best like sleeper picks type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I look up these lists when I'm looking for new recommendations. When I go to watch horror movies, and this was listed in some. Or I guess it's definitely more of a sci-fi, I would say.
Yeah,
Right?
sci-fi thriller.
Could anyone like really tell me? Because to this day, I have no idea. What is the difference between horror and thriller? Like, what separates those two genres?
Blood?
For me, thriller is more like suspense based.
Mhm.
Horror is more
Edge of
like
your feet.
adrenaline. Yeah, like edge of your feet.
Mm.
They're
No.
both similar.
Horror is
in
more
that
bloody,
way.
right?
Not always.
That's
Because
the
there's psychological horror.
No, but that's what I'm
sometimes,
saying. The
and-
actual horror, when you're doing thriller and horror, like or slasher film horror, you know what I mean? It's like type of.
But that's
because
its
they have
own
different-
genre, even.
They have their own
Slashers.
genres. Yeah, they have their own genres, right? So between suspense, I think suspense and thriller is a huge thing.
Yeah,
One thing a
people
thriller
actually.
makes you scared. Suspense makes your mind fucking scared.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's actually what I was leading into. Some people actually categorize this movie as a existential horror
Mhm.
because it makes you question, like, what if
Yeah.
I was in this situation? How would I react? And then that kind of gets people feeling like a bit anxious, like when you
Mhm.
try and put yourself in the
In that
character's like
position.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I kind of, in my mind, I would go to is like horror, like what he said, like the blood. I always feel like the presence of blood makes it horror, or whatever, or like a lot of blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This movie is not that bloody or whatever. It's very, very
So-
minimal in that sense.
but
So
that's
it
why I
makes me
think
feel
they
like this is
have
thriller.
like its own separate category, like
Yeah.
a thriller or
Yeah.
a suspenseful horror,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to, because it is in a sense a horror. In a way, it is because it's creepy. Maybe not. Maybe cerebral.
Right.
What are these? Cerebral
Yeah.
would be a word.
Yeah, psychological horror.
Right? Yeah.
But and then people like sometimes just call them like mindfuck movies, where it's like it makes
Like I said.
the whole plot, it gets all twisty, and it's just like it throws you off. But
And then you try to do
Whoa,
your own
okay.
fucking guessing,
So-
and it gets you really messed up.
So this film came out 2013. I think that should be mentioned. So it's
Yeah.
12 years old now. Directed by James Ward
Burkett.
Burkett.
Yeah.
So I looked at this guy. He's actually the like assistant director for like a lot of the films by Gore Verbinski. So like those Pirate of the Caribbean films. and
Yeah.
stuff. Like he was actually like working on those films. I had thought he was like from a TV history for whatever reason. I just kind of assumed that. But
Well,
so go
I
yeah.
was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, do you know what's interesting about this movie is actually this film was his like directorial debut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I think is like very strong for like your first movie.
This is the point I was gonna bring up, which is crazy. Made on $50,000.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That fucking tripped me out.
50,000.
Well,
very low budget.
I
Very low
watched.
budget.
You can
Ju-
tell the way the camera angles were at
Just-
some points.
Yeah, just to add some context to maybe some of the film or what exactly happened in the movie, I looked
Yeah,
looked
explain the
something up.
plot.
I looked. Well, no, I was gonna say I looked something up on YouTube, and he has a video on YouTube where he helps explain the film, like the director himself. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he
It's a mathematical
so he explains some of the stuff from the film, and he actually mentions that hence I guess the budget for this movie, you can all tell it's low budget, but he said he filmed this in his living room, like that's
Yeah.
his house, like
Looks
that
like
he
it.
filmed this
Yeah.
in. Yeah, so like that's
They
no,
didn't
that's
need
pretty
much.
interesting. Yeah,
So,
that's pretty interesting.
And
Alan,
also the character in the movie, I don't know if you guys remember him. His name is Amir.
It's his
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, his friend.
yeah,
he helped
yeah.
co-write it, which is
Oh,
interesting
nice.
as well. Yeah.
So, Alan, why don't you, like, in your own
Indeed.
words, sort of like run down what the plot of the story is? You can give away the ending or not if you'd like, but just kind of just go over like what.
I'll just do like a brief explanation just for people who haven't seen the movie, I
Yeah.
guess, to like not really spoil it.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, but basically it's just like a group of friends going to like a late night dinner party.
Mhm.
And coincidentally, there's a comet passing by, and later that night, I guess like strange events unfold. and I think a good thing to kind of pull people in is like conflicts kind of arise, and I guess some people kind of like show their true colors, like their friends. You understand more of them. I think that's like a good way to say it without, spoiling the
Yeah, yeah.
entire film for
Just a
those.
sequence of events. That's all.
So it
Yeah.
talks about sort of like the supernatural like nature of like comets and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
I guess that's like a present thing in like history or whatever. I don't know if the events that they reference in the movie are like based on fact or
I,
not.
I,
Well,
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
well, we are going to take a deeper dive describing what happened when we get into the actual
Yeah,
plot
yeah.
of the film. But just for now, for anybody that is interested to check it out, yeah, just be forewarned when we will go into spoilery territory when we start getting into it here. But yeah, no. That being said, yeah, very impressive low budget film
Yeah,
for his
very
first time.
impressive.
But so Jay, this then. Like
I'd never
Max,
seen
this was also your first time, right? Yeah.
I literally watched it today.
Yeah. Well, I know Jay. I know you're.
Literally,
I know like you're
I'll be
huge on
honest.
sci-fi. So did
Yeah, I
that
didn't-
scratch that sci-fi itch for you at all? This sort of film.
I had a hard time getting into the first few minutes.
Mhm.
Like maybe a good
Sure.
20 minutes, maybe 15.
Yeah, it's a slow
But
start.
Once it fucking hooked me, it hooked me.
Nice.
Right? Which
Agreed,
was,
yeah.
because it started fucking with my head, and I was trying to do certain things in my head and trying to figure stuff out and trying to, and without looking anything up about this movie. The only thing I wanted to see is because of the way it was shaky, if it was a big budget or if it wasn't a big budget, because it almost looked like I was watching like a fucking. I know I looked at their letterbox and Max and Julie had seen this movie, so I figured, is this like a fucking?
No, Julie hasn't watched it. She had it in her want to watch
It was
list.
want to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, because I didn't see you on there yet, so I wasn't 100% sure. But at the end of the day, it hooked me, and I needed to fucking watch it right to the very end, right,
Mhm.
just to see what the fuck happened, right? So, yeah, it was. I liked it in
Me too.
a certain way. In certain ways, I mean, I question things, but but we all do, right? About this movie. So it was a good pick. I didn't think. I honestly, I
Yeah.
had a hard time, getting through that first fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually, that's understandable because even upon this rewatch, which I had forgotten about the movie because it's been a few years since I've even seen it, I was like, at first, you definitely do get that. You're like, I don't really recognize a lot of these actors. It's very low budget, and then it is a slow start. But then, like you
Give it a
said,
chance.
once the ball gets rolling, it's hard to kind of stop. Like it, yeah, you're
But that
in.
reminds you. That
You're-
reminds you that there's so many really good low budget films.
Yes.
With no
Yeah.
name actors that do a great job, right? So
Can I say like, yeah, I really, the low budget aspect of it is like what's really attractive to me. But I will say, I guess this is kind of maybe bleeding a little bit into the like dislike thing, but I really like how this is like a low budget film, but it's not like a play like a lot of low budget sort of films kind of morph into. They get into that sort of play vibe where they're just talking on it back and forth. No, there's
Yeah.
like some really good direction as far as like creating suspense and stuff. So very well made, like for a low budget, not even just for a film general, very well made.
It's a very like ambitious film.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's
Like,
like
it does a lot for like the budget.
yeah, oh yeah. It makes you want to, give it an award almost at one point because they can make that happen and make you that fucked up in your head at that cost,
Yeah.
right?
So I saw this movie. I've been actually kind of slacking recently. I've been only really doing our episodes like doing one watches. Normally I would like to like do two. This one I actually watched twice, and I liked
Oh,
it a
wow.
lot more on the second watch.
So did I.
Yeah,
I watched
liked
it
a lot
twice.
more. The first time it was a little bit awkward for me. Like I think you do take that like the fact that you're not familiar with the actors, you kind of take that for granted now. Like
Yeah.
I at least I do, because so many of the films I've seen in the past, like whatever all summer, I know like a lot of actors in them. Like, or like when you watch F1 or whatever, you see Brad Pitt, and it's like you see
Yeah.
Brad Pitt like 50 times.
You go in with
Now-
like an expectation, right?
Yeah, there's an expectation. Now you're in this movie. It's like a dinner party, and there's like 8 people, and all these people are essentially like strangers to you because you don't recognize them. So there's that element of like you're like also kind of like one of the guests too in the house, and you're sort of like getting to know all these characters. It's really well done, actually. Does anyone have any sort of like other general run of the mill thoughts before we hop into likes and dislikes?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, Alan can start us off in likes and dislikes. I don't really have anything else to say. It was really just the discovery that I actually had seen this that I was surprised by because I remember you said you're like, if anybody I feel like has seen it here would be you, and I actually had.
Yeah,
but when you told me the name, just I don't. I guess it's a good name in the sense if you've seen the movie, how they talk about the decoherence and stuff in it, it makes sense. But just as a title on its own, like I didn't remember that this was a movie I had watched.
Because you rarely hear that word coherence in like your everyday vocabulary, and so like a lot of these one word movie titles, it's just like transcendence.
They say coherence is like Latin for like bring together.
That makes sense.
And that's kind of like essentially what they didn't really like do in the movie. Like
right.
they were,
like
they were kind of leaving, and they were decoherent.
Well, there was a reality in where I had seen this movie, and then there was a reality where I hadn't seen this movie. so it kind of I was able to bring it together for this recording here today.
Because Alan, to me, Alan is like the king of horror. Like when it comes to horror, like he knows like everything. He's the first to like always know something. When I see the poster of Coherence and there's like a ping pong paddle, I'm thinking someone gets bludgeoned to death with that thing. Like, I'm thinking something really effed up is going to happen regarding that ping pong paddle. And it was totally subverting my expectation.
When I looked it up too, it was like, no, I don't think I've seen this. I was like, but I'm like, you said your buddy has good, Alan has a good taste in movies. So I'm just like, and I see him on Letterboxd, stuff like that. Plus, I've seen this movie previous to me joining Letterboxd, so it wasn't logged. So when I looked it up, I'm like, I don't know what this is. So because I've only been on Letterboxd for like 3 years, and it's a handy tool for knowing what I've watched, especially like deeper cuts like this one, right? Like that's the thing. I don't know if this movie made that much of an impression on me, but I gotta say, after watching it 2 more times to discuss about it here today, it's a good movie. I do like it. Like just on premise alone, it's impressive. Like you need a really strong premise like this film in order to, like you said, whether it's low budget or high or an expensive film that they made here, to actually elevate like the material to where, like, especially because it was low budget in this case though. Like because if they didn't have such a good premise, this would just be a bunch of like what seems like indie actors just standing around talking the whole film. But just by doing that though, because of how interesting of an idea it was, they were able to, like, that's why like this is one of those movies that it's rewarding after like multiple watches. Like it rewards you the more you see it because you start noticing more stuff. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I gotta say, and then I'll pass it over here to Alan to get into likes, dislikes. But I want to say that video that I watched, there's a short version of it by the director. There's a longer version apparently too. He even says it in this video, and I didn't want to watch the longer version because I'm like, I don't want everything explained to me. I want my own interpretation of the film. Right. But there's one thing he said in the movie that I honestly did not pick up on, and then it kind of blew my mind into like, I was like, oh, I'm like, I didn't even think of that possibility, like because I will say, like, the way that they explain it is really well done. Like, it's not in a way where you're going to get confused. You can follow the plot, but at a certain point, depending on how deep you want to go into thinking about like who's a stranger, who's a visitor. Like he mentions Amir and Hugh at one point. There's 5 different versions of those 2 guys in this film, and I was trying to like count them up in my head. I'm like, how is there that many?
They're like the first to like leave, and then they every time they come back, it's like a different one, like different.
Right, but that's
an actual equation.
There is on
a chart out there.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I just didn't think though. I didn't think of the idea where every time someone leaves the house and they walk down that dark path, they're basically leaving that house behind.
They're leaving that universe.
So even in that first scene where those guys leave and then they come back and it's 2 different versions of them, those are only in the movie for a minute because all the other people leave the house then. And I didn't even consider that once they leave the house, they're basically leaving those versions behind. And then when they go back, every time somebody went back to that house, they think that it's the same house and it's not. Right? Like that's crazy. Like,
until they finally caught on.
I just wanted to say, like, I think that the low budget thing kind of just shows that the most valuable resource in filmmaking is creativity, not necessarily money. Like if you have like a good idea and just talented people and stuff, you can make magic. I saw this movie twice, like I mentioned before. The first time I think I watched it, like it was really late at night. It was actually last night, and I was dozing off a bit, right? So I was like, oh shit. So I decided, and I kind of caught the ending, most of the middle sort of thing, but I was kind of dozing a bit. Not because of the movie was boring, just because it was late, right? So then when I, so then when I watched it again, I'm thinking, because the second time I was getting a little nervous. I was like, oh shit, is this gonna be like a really high concept thing that I'm gonna have to like really pay attention? When I watched it the second time, I realized it's not really that confusing of a movie at all, really. And I think because they describe the infinite possibilities, it kind of makes you like relax a bit. Like you don't have to overthink.
Yeah.
Like then you want to overthink. That's what makes
you can. No, it allows you to.
Exactly.
It gives you life.
What's interesting about the movie is like throughout the movie, you're constantly being fed ideas of like what it could be about.
Right.
Like, oh, is it infinite realities? Oh, is it because of the ketamine, like the hallucination? They're giving you all these like different reasons for what could be like going on, and you just get kind of like lost in your own like mind.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I truly appreciate about this movie.
Yeah.
Is like you can look at it in like so many different ways, even like if it's meant to be shown in like
really
a certain
leaves
aspect.
it open ended.
Yeah,
it really does.
Oh well, that's a great ending too. Yeah,
great ending.
But that's I echo what you said there. Like on surface level, it is easy to follow, but if you want to dive deeper, it's there. Absolutely. It's great.
I think it's for me. It was more me personally. It was just more rewarding to like let go. Don't overthink it. Just let the plot kind of unravel and
to play in such a short time span too as well, which made it even better.
It's the events of one night.
Yeah,
it's one night essentially.
One night, one
right?
location, essentially, right? Like I mentioned earlier, like I'm kind of just repeating myself, but I mentioned earlier, a lot of films they get into like the play format, and it's just blah 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 blah. A lot of chatter about whatever, like pointless chatter. And I like that this movie actually tries to be a film, does the editing, does the everything, like makes it suspenseful, and so great effort, honestly, great film. Does Alan, you want to get into the likes and dislikes, your personal likes and dislikes?
So what I really like the most about this movie is like they're introducing all these different characters, and you don't really get like a feel of like you're kind of just figuring them out as you go, but as the movie progresses, you like their conflicts kind of intertwine. So like as the realities begin to like, I guess they're like going into different like realities, you really get to see like, oh, this person's been hiding this info, but the other reality version doesn't know like what you've spoken about, and people are kind of just exchanging like truths here and there. But they're also lying about what's currently happening in the house. Like one of my favorite or like one scene that kind of like shocks me every time is when the main character Emily goes outside. I think she's like looking for her ring, and her boyfriend Kevin is like outside, but it's like a different Kevin. And she's like asking him like, oh, like what are you doing out here, whatever. And he has like the light like shining in his face.
Creepy. He's like,
and it's so creepy, and he's just like staring at her. And he doesn't realize, he doesn't say anything, and she just realizes like, okay, this is not the Kevin that I was just with, and and then immediately after she goes inside, and you're like, oh, Kevin's there, like that's crazy.
I have a question about that scene actually. So did she just leave that Kevin like standing all
bro?
Creepy?
He's just out there,
Bro, like it's just like evil.
Bro,
Kevin,
he just like crept into the darkness. He was just like. It was almost like he just kind of like shifted off screen, and but that's another thing they kind of do in this movie. They fade to black a lot in this. I don't know what the hell that's all about. Where they kinda...
I personally didn't like that. If we just say my personal dislike,
I agree. This is what I'm saying. I don't know what it was about. It felt like almost like a TV special. It was just like
when they cut to commercial.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I don't know if we're stepping on Alan's likes dislikes here. So go ahead.
But, I mean, there's got to be a reason.
No, honestly, I don't have like too many.
But you know what the thing is? In my mind, I'm thinking, what is the fix for that? Like, how would you, if you weren't going to do, like, you know how every time they reveal information and then they cut to black almost?
So I overthought that at one point, and I was like, is that his subtle way of saying this is a different
universe?
Yes.
Interesting.
But I don't think that's the case.
Like
I don't think that's the case. I just think it was a choice on his part. But it reminded me of TV. Like
it was a dream sequence.
Bro. I think you're following the same Emily though throughout the whole film. She's the only
she's the same person the entire time.
She's a constant,
yeah. So I've seen this movie like probably 7 times.
But she's also the dark piece too, as well.
Yeah. So and then she decides to become evil.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't
No,
know.
no. So what happens? I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but basically, towards the end of the movie, everyone is just in like peak like conflicts. Like they're arguing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of like revealed, and people have all these like negative intentions. She's just kind of over it, and I think the trigger was basically her boyfriend was comforting that other girl, Lori.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as that happens, because she's like losing her mind, she's just like, okay, I've kind of like lost him. Like that's kind of what she was like clinging on to. And then she's like, I need to find a reality where like there's just enough happiness for me. Like
Yeah,
she just wants like a
interesting.
perfect reality. So that's why she ends
I-
up going out there and looking through all these houses.
Yes.
And most of them just shows like violence, and you see some crazy stuff.
The
in some
one
of them.
where
tied
the
up.
one where
The
Mike.
mic?
Oh, there's two mics and they're
There's
tied
one
up.
that's like yeah. Yo, Mike was on
the
some
silver
devious
Mike.
stuff.
Yo,
Yeah.
Mike is my favorite character. Can I just say that he
Yo,
was crazy.
Mike
yo.
Mike
Dude,
is such a
bro.
personality.
Yeah.
No,
It's like
Yeah.
I don't want this, Dad. I like my life.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, my interpretation of it is she's like walking, like every like time she walks through the neighborhood, she's walking into like another reality or universe.
Yeah.
And I think she like came to the realization she was never gonna come back to her own, I guess, or she wouldn't even be able
No,
to find. Her
I
own.
think she knew that initially. I think
Yeah.
she just wanted to find like a happy place.
Yeah,
'cause-
that's what my
and then she
interpretation
goes, but like
was,
then
too.
she just kills like her own. Like that's
No,
some
no,
crazy-
that was like a new problem.
But
Like,
she had to replace her in that
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah,
That was the
she went
thing.
into that timeline and she saw herself being
Happy.
so happy with Kevin,
Yeah.
yeah.
which she doesn't really have anymore. And she's like, I want to be in that position.
Al-
And then
also, yeah,
she takes
also
her
that
out
timeline.
outside.
Also, that timeline was before all that stuff happened when
Yeah.
they're at the party together.
It's like
So
a
like
total
there,
rewind.
Oh,
there
yeah.
was no conflict
Yeah.
in that moment yet.
Yeah.
Where
And
she
tries
went.
to like prevent it
But
all.
she basically was just trying to replace herself in that timeline by
Yeah.
taking her out, right?
But she,
That was-
that timeline that she replaced herself, like you said, no conflict. I don't even think they had the blackout really. Like,
No,
they had a,
because that
they had a
happened.
blackout at the end.
yeah,
Oh, at the
flickered,
end.
yeah.
But like it's barely anything.
And-
It's
and
not as
it
long
flickered.
as.
and that's
the
when
other
she
one.
like collapses and she wakes up in the morning
Yeah.
right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like that's because that whole showdown with her copy.
I
in the-
guess
in the
I guess
bathroom.
my kind of thing, I guess my kind of like eyebrow raised kind of thing of it is like they never really show her to be like a vicious kind of character.
Yeah.
What's her name? Emily or Emma? What's
M,
it-
M, they
M-
were called-
They just call her M, but her actually the actor's name is Emily.
Emily, yeah,
Yeah.
So they never really showed her to be kind of like Two-Faced or anything. So it was kind of interesting to see that like dark turn that she takes
Yeah.
at
Towards
the very
herself.
end. Yeah, towards herself. Too.
I just think it's more like you really just want that life that like you just don't have
that's
anymore. I
basically
guess.
yours. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Oh,
she
yeah,
even
and-
she even got her like she wanted some like
Ballet?
dance role or whatever.
yeah.
And she ended up getting that in that universe. Yeah, they were saying
Oh,
like
is that true? Okay.
yeah,
That's
they
the one
mentioned
she
that
wanted.
too. Yeah, she
Oh,
got
okay, I didn't
her
think
role
that.
and everything. She literally got her like perfect life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like taking out your doppelganger.
Yeah.
what else you got for likes, dislikes for the film there, Alan?
Honestly, man, there's just so many there's so many scenes I really like appreciate and but it's more just like the psychological aspect of the movie. Like I like I mentioned earlier, they're just feeding you all this information, and that's my favorite thing about it is like there's all these weird like for example, they have the box and the letters.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, why is the letter at the door? Like when we never even left the house.
Yeah.
And it just really plays with your mind. That's really like what I truly appreciate about this movie.
That's what I like about it too. It's just the feeding of information, and like you get a new
Yeah.
piece of information every like couple minutes, and it just
Yeah.
but it doesn't really explain like why this happened, so it's kind
Yeah.
of keeps you in
They
suspense.
they
like,
do vaguely explain it, but it's kind of I feel like it's up to the viewer to kind of
Yeah.
It's
Choose
still
what
open-ended
you believe.
interpreted. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all open up, right to the end,
Yeah.
right to the fucking last scene. You know what I mean?
because
So, like,
there are explanations where they do like I think truthfully explain the movie,
yeah,
but there are some things that they say that kind of like throw you off.
mhm.
Yeah.
So it does come down to like how you feel about it, but I think there is a truth in the movie. It's
with that
just
many
hard to
people,
see.
you would, you know how many times you would have to fucking circle back? It would
Well,
Infinite time.
Well, that was
I don't think you can though.
no. That's
I
what.
don't think so.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
I
they
know.
were trying to explain, which I thought was really like. Again, they take a lot of the complicated, like quantum physics out of it at certain points where they try to dumb it down for the viewer in
Yeah.
ways that like just friends would be talking like they are.
You talk about this shit on Star Trek.
Sure, but what they say, the thing I really liked was how they said the whole thing about the roulette wheel, where he's
Yeah.
like, even if we wanted to, we couldn't make it back to the house that we came from. When they find
Yeah.
out that they're visitors at the end, Em and Mike,
Yeah.
where basically he's like, yeah, every time we go out there, this is when they figured it out, that Black Street. But once they go down there and they come out the other end, the house that they see isn't their house; it's another house. Is that they're like it just spits you out somewhere random.
Yeah. They say
that's-
there's like 5 million like possibilities when Hugh
Probably
does
more
the
than
math.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he did show the calculator on his phone.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I think it has to go with saying that like this whole movie, I guess, right, is I don't know if it's you just mentioned it, but the whole quantum physics thing about how
Right.
like every time you make a choice, a new possible universe is sort of created. And
Well, it's the
every branch.
Schrodinger's cat
Schrodinger's cat,
theory. Yeah.
But this is like an endless sort of stream of like creation and creation, and
You know what
she
this
probably
is,
was
bro?
creating more universes every
You
time.
ready
she
for
popped
this?
Out, right?
You ready for this? You know what this is like, bro? When you say that, you know what it reminds me of? Megalopolis, bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
And every tree, every turn you take, everything you do in a day, bro, creates another path in your
Yeah.
life that you could have took.
You always got to
telling
bring
you,
it back to
bro.
that
no,
movie.
my favorite
Yo,
line in that one is
movie was so true, bro.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was. I'm sorry, and this is what made me think of this with that whole fucking branching out of different things. Every time they left, because they left all, it's a mind fuck, man.
My
It's a
favorite
real
line in
mind
that
fuck
one is
in that
"Don't
sense.
let the now destroy the forever."
Yeah,
That's a golden line.
that's a go-to.
But,
I think I only.
Nico famously, I guess, didn't like that one. Or
No, I grew to enjoy it more as time went on.
every time we bring it up, Megalopolis, he's like, "Oh fuck these guys again with their."
Well,
Megalopolis."
you guys,
Me and Jay really love
guys
that one.
definitely jerked off to that movie more than I did.
Straight up.
Yeah.
We all watched
absolutely.
it together, but I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as you guys.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
but I will say, like,
I will
again,
already do another
upon
rewatch.
I
upon
completely like
upon
emptied my load up for that movie.
Yeah, I might jerk
upon
off tonight.
upon rewatching it, though, I did like it more. Like after the first one, after
Fair
you
enough.
kind of accept it for what it is, right? Like,
But
it's-
Jay even tripped me because every time we do bring up that movie often, but Jay even tripped me up with just now like Megalopolis. Like, how's he gonna connect these two dots?
Yeah.
I still can connect them. See,
Yeah,
bro,
no,
my brain
absolutely.
works. It does work.
But even like building upon that whole theory about how like because I've heard that Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
cat
cat.
things
Big
before.
Bang Theory, right?
Yeah. They did talk about it on there. Yeah, because they're all physicists, right?
Yeah.
So I've heard about that, about the one reality he's dead, one reality he's alive type deal before. But the more interesting thing about that is that this is all happening because of the comet going overhead. I guess that's somehow like triggering this occurrence.
Yeah.
And not only that, the decoherence thing is like, it's the more important aspect of it is that they learn after the fact for that book or whatever, is that they also can't come bring those two times together. Like they can't even collide. Like there's no worlds collide.
Yeah,
with
there's
each
no collapse.
timeline, which is the even more interesting aspect
Yeah,
about this,
there's
because
stuff where
obviously
they, like-
in any of these type of movies, they're working towards finding a way to get back or to get their timelines to converge, where that's the whole point of this film. Is like, that's not possible. Like she just has to abandon that at one point of the movie, right? So it's
This is where watching Star Trek and quantum physics and paying attention in science and stuff like that. I used to love this shit, man, because it really fucks with you. It can really fuck with your head, because there is math equations for everything, but they can be infinite. And from just looking at this poster now, it even makes me realize that there is still that dark space that's going to exist there. They're never going to get back to each other, and that's why they're looking at each other in that fucking photo behind
Great
us.
poster, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? And if you really think about it, like it is, you can keep thinking about it. You can play this movie for 3 hours long, right? And you're still gonna, I feel gonna keep twisting it. It's gonna be. It was just, in that sense, I love.
you're speechless.
Because you know what, it was enough to have. Like I said, it wasn't long enough where I lost interest.
It's an hour and 20
first,
minutes or
15
something, right?
89
but
minutes.
yeah.
I think,
once I
to be
got through that 15 minutes, man, I felt like it wasn't long enough at one point.
exact.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. In
You
my
know,
opinion, it's one of the
easy
most like
watch.
rewatchable movies like ever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, now
Yeah.
that I know I can get through that first little bit. Yeah, I can rewatch this movie over and over.
Well,
again.
I'm telling you,
Like-
it's rewarding on a second watch because we watched it back to back, and it's even more interesting the second time around watching
know,
it. In that sense.
I thought like it's because the first 15 minutes when they're like they're all arriving at the house and they're all like whatever. For whatever reason, I was like, I don't really like this acting. I don't know what it was. I was just like, this acting is kind of
I
bad.
agree.
And then on the second watch, I was like,
I
no, it's actually perfectly fine.
I
Yeah.
I
agree.
don't know why I had that thought.
It's like genuine like it's not like acting, but it's like genuine conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate about it. It
Yeah.
feels like it's
Exactly.
actually like happening.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually edited my note. I literally put that on the first watch where I'm just like, low budget, not great acting. Then the second time I watched it, I was
Acting's
like, you know
great.
what? It actually
For this reason,
the
yeah.
delivery of it does make it feel like it's a real conversation between people because they're not overdoing it. Like they're
Yeah.
literally just sitting there as friends chatting, and then yeah, no, it's true.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine
the acting is perfect for what it is.
Yo,
Yes, exactly.
Could you
exactly.
imagine having a dinner party and then playing this movie in the background?
Screw with people.
Yeah, just to fuck with people.
But Alan, dislikes though. You mentioned things you liked. Is there even can you be critical
Any-
about the film in any way, since even though you love it? Like, is there
No.
any aspect of it you didn't like?
I mean, it's the same as like what you just mentioned. Upon like early watches, I did criticize the acting as well, and I grew to like that after. Honestly, now that I've seen the movie like 7, probably like 8 times, because I watched it twice, like yesterday and today as well.
Yeah.
And it's honestly hard for me to find any real dislikes. I honestly don't even mind what you guys said earlier about like the how it just fades to black.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it feels like it's kind of moving on to like a new subject. Like this movie is very quick paced,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't feel like it draws. It doesn't stay on a subject for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Besides like the main, actually like the narrative, it
Which is, yeah,
it just
the whole
moves.
movie.
It progresses. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're always moving on to something else, and I like that. It keeps like a steady pace. But for
Yep.
dislikes, it's very tough for me. Like I don't know, it's pretty good.
There's not really much I can pick apart on this movie either. I mean, the thing is, the whole cutting to black, that's like a nitpick. It doesn't really
Yeah.
bother me, but it's just like, oh, well, okay.
It's definitely something I didn't love though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
but-
just it's a weird choice. I'll say.
It is a weird choice, but
yeah.
now I'm trying to think, like, what is the
Like
fix?
there might be meaning.
Like, what would be, like, how would you change it? Like, if you were to...
Just don't do it.
Just don't
I don't
do
think it needed
and then
to.
you could just go to the next scene.
I
and
just
has the
it
same effect.
literally felt like
Yeah.
the dramatic cut to a commercial on a drama
On
on
the TV. Like,
TV.
you're watching an episode
Yeah.
of 24. or
That's
something
why,
like
like,
that.
you know, if this guy had a background in TV, it would make sense, like in that set. You know what I mean? Like, but then pair that with the fact that it's low budget and there's some actors I don't know, it kind of did feel like I was honestly gonna ask, like, was this made for TV at one point? Like, I was
Yeah.
watching
Yeah,
it because,
some
like,
TV shows are an hour and 25
think it
minutes,
went-
like a final series or whatever, like
I
that.
think
Like,
if
I mean,
I'm
it
not
does that.
mistaken-
was it made? This wasn't made.
No,
for
no.
TV.
I think I was
It's-
gonna check. I think this did make it to the festival circuit. I think it's like
That-
at
I
Sundance.
think it
or
has
some
that
shit.
kind of fucking vibe.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting from. I literally got after the.
But I don't think that's a good
Right.
quality, is what I'm saying. That's why I didn't like the cutting. I don't know. Personally, again, like Max said, it's not like it's a deal breaker where I'm like, this
No,
makes
not
the
so
movie
bad.
terrible in any way. But it also, I don't think it helps. Like, I just think it's like, if he did away with it, it wouldn't have bothered me. If
Mm.
like it didn't add anything
Okay.
to the movie for me.
It
Like,
premiered at a festival called Fantastic Fest, which is a film festival.
yeah,
I've
it's a
never heard of.
horror. I think that's a
Oh, it's
horror.
a horror
I think
one?
that's a horror one.
Nice.
That's where
Okay,
Terrifier and stuff, I think,
I'm
debuted. And
assuming-
stuff
Oh,
like
Austin,
that.
Texas.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
That's I think that's a horror fest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeehaw.
fantasy, horror, science fiction,
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
There you go.
So-
Yeah.
No, man, I really dig this movie. Actually, I think it's like a really under the radar gem. Honestly,
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, you know what I mean.
That's for sure.
So this was actually a great pick.
I guess my only real dislike is like I wish it could have gone longer.
maybe but maybe the length is like perfect
Just
though, like
perfect, yeah.
90 minutes.
Yeah.
That becomes an underrated thing. The 90 minutes.
You know what though? I see what he's saying, because they could have got a lot messier for like another 15 minutes,
Yeah.
even like where it even got
Yeah.
more confusing, because they could have definitely delved deeper into how confusing it was
Yeah,
getting,
maybe.
where like
Well-
multiple versions are walking in the door, or, like, you know what I mean? Like shit could have got
Multiple killings could have happened.
right, like shit
Like-
could have like really went like way more downhill in the plot in terms of the storyline, like with the way it was going, honestly.
But
Like
the
I
movie-
absolutely love the ending, but like
Great. Yeah.
I want to see like what else could have happened
Me
there.
too.
Like right after, like the
I-
boyfriend finds out that that's not actually her, and then it becomes like such an awkward moment. Kind of scary too that the other version of her was still alive.
What's the name of the filmmaker who made this again, Alan? If you have it.
Don't remember at the top of my head.
James something?
Ward Burkitt.
Burkett. So if you
Yeah.
go on his profile on Letterboxd,
Yeah.
it shows a credit for Coherence too. But then I don't see
Oh.
that anywhere like on IMDb or Wikipedia. So I'm curious if that like sometimes Letterboxd just has like rumors as like films or whatever. I'm
Okay.
curious if they did make a sequel for this. I wonder
I
where
can look it
that
up.
would be kind of interesting, like where they would take that.
This,
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm curious if it'd be the same characters or maybe just this, like you know how they do in like horror movie sequels where it's the same concept but a totally different new cast of character.
I definitely I would dig that completely. Like
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
gave us a new setting, a new cast, like new issues.
And
Have the
you know-
comic coming through again, whatever.
Yeah. And then you know the thing is because this is like the first time, it's like sort of the proof of concept. Maybe the sequel has a higher budget. Not that it needs one, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like usually that's sort of the
They
case.
can also try like something new with a higher budget now that this one's like succeeded like
Absolutely.
very well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Well, it
Nico,
looks like they have one that might be in an valid after. No.
yeah, I saw it on Letterboxd there. So Nico
Oh,
J,
let's
do you guys
see.
have any like glaring likes or dislikes that?
I
You
already
haven't mentioned
I already
it.
mentioned my
Yeah.
dislike was the cutaway, like fade to black type
No,
stuff that they
mine
did a
was-
lot.
Just that first getting through that first fucking 15 minutes. Yeah.
I would agree with that too, but again, that
Then I
and
looked at it in a different way. I came afterwards and said, you know what, I'm gonna look at it like a mini show, like a television series, and just put it on like that and watch it. And then I realized that when after, you know, like I said, after we looked up whatever the box office value, not what it was sold, but what was budgeted. After I looked that up, I said, you know what, I'm gonna give this one a shot, like a shot, right, and just see what happens. So yeah, I enjoyed it afterwards.
Mhm.
I think it was just enough time. I mean, yeah, it
I
could have
like
got
that.
gruesome for a horror if you wanted to.
I
If
like
you
that. Not
could have
everything
got
has to be
gruesome.
3 hours long and shit. I mean, not that like, but I'm just saying like
Yeah.
sometimes it's really impressive when someone gets something
We-
off in 90 minutes. You know, like,
Yeah.
we've actually
love
had a really
I
great
love
run
it.
of movies like that lately on the show.
3
We
hours
were
long?
big fans of that. No, we've had a great run of movies that are
90 minutes.
an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes lately. The last few picks.
What was
which
the last thing did?
Well, we said it's been kind of like a lost art in that sense. Well, we did before the last pick, we did Naked Gun, and then Jay just picked,
I can't remember what Jay
which is an hour and 20 minutes. Naked Gun, the original one.
What did Jay just pick? I can't even remember.
Jay just did
Limitless.
not Limitless.
Limitless.
Yeah, Limitless. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
such
yeah.
a good movie.
That was a
Yeah.
good one too.
another
Another
sci-fi.
one that was like an hour and a half, like
Yeah.
just over, right? So, but yeah, I already mentioned my main dislike was that, and a lot of my other dislikes, honestly, were went away with this second rewatch that I did in preparation for this. Like I said,
Yeah.
the comments on actors or like
Yeah.
the fact that it felt like a low budget kind of thing, maybe in a bad way. No, that all went at first 15 minutes being
Which
slow.
made me really glad I watched.
Yeah,
it first.
maybe the first 50 minutes being slow, all that went away on another rewatch. But like, so I wouldn't say like even the first time I watched it a few years ago, it made that big of an impression on me. There has been other films that kind of explore like things like this, similar to this, or like just even like ideas based off of like a simple premise that like kind of it goes. One of them will be one of my movie pairings that I'm going to mention later on as well. Which we recently actually talked about on the show for another, I think was for one of my picks for Limitless as well, actually. But yeah, no, it's a solid movie. I have really no other,
Yeah.
but and like I said, likes was just again how they were able to do so much with so little based on the premise of
I
this
love it.
film. Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
just very well done. Yeah.
Like I'm kind of like a sucker for these types of like sci-fi high concept ones, but like ones that are done well, and this
Yeah.
one is done very well in my opinion. So if there's no more likes and dislikes, should we move on to favorite scenes? Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Alan, why don't you start us off, man? What's
Oh
a
man,
favorite-
there's so
a
many
favorite
good
scene that
scenes,
pops
but
up?
I would say
give us many. Give us one for now.
yeah, I would say I think my number one like most favorite scene probably of the movie.
I wonder if
is-
you're gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
I mean, maybe, but yeah, but essentially, my favorite scene is when Emily is like at the table, everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and she starts analyzing the numbers
Yeah.
to see like, okay, you chose this number, you chose that, and then she remembers like the numbers from the previous house, and she has those two sheets, and then it's just such a crazy scene to me. Like it really kind of got me very like this is like that existential dread feeling where
Mm.
she's like, "Oh, we're not even from like the same house. These aren't like the friends we originally started with." And she's like, "We're visitors." And I was just so
Great.
I don't know,
review.
the idea of just like not being in the world you began in and just these people are different from who you like originally know
Yeah.
is just so like terrifying in a way actually. Like
Yeah.
it's a little scary because you
Okay.
don't really know like how they are now, I guess.
So,
That's my favorite scene, and it was so like well done.
absolutely. So my favorite scene is basically that same scene, but like what happens shortly after, because she tells Mike, right? She tells Mike
Yeah.
all this shit, and he's like, because he's like, I guess, like an alcoholic that just jumped on the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
through it.
He's going. He doesn't give two shits when she says. He's like, all right, whatever. He's drinking his wine and shit. Then when the note comes through the door,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
my next
revealed-
one.
That's when it's revealed that this guy begged that dude's wife and shit, yo.
Yeah.
And then he's like, the guy's getting ready to like rip his throat out, and he goes, no, I'm not from this reality. Like he pulls that shit out of
Well,
him.
he's
That,
just,
that's actually
who cares? None of this matters. That's what
No,
he's
but
Yeah.
he was,
No, no.
I think that was so funny. Is like he's dismissing it when Emily says it, but then he uses it as his like,
Right.
get my jail out
Right.
of
Well,
free
because he's
card.
hammered, right? He's hammered at that point.
That's drunk.
Yeah, that's actually that's one of my favorite quotes of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is essentially like
Right.
Mike is like
Oh,
like Hugh, relax, like
Yeah.
we're like I'm not even from this universe. He's like I
Yes.
didn't like I didn't do anything with your wife. And then after he's like, but the Mike from me prior to this night has been with your wife in every single universe.
That's
I thought that was hilarious, but also
That's-
like
I had
what
that
the
as one of
hell?
my quotes. I had that as one of my quotes. I also had like from the scene you're talking about as one of my quotes. I liked his whole the way he thought about it. All of a sudden, he's like, this whole night we've been worrying that there's some dark version of ourselves out there. What if we're the dark version?
Yeah, that was my other quote too. Which is
Mike
like very
says that
good.
to
Yeah,
Emily
Mike says
during
that.
during that conversation before she's revealing all this stuff to
I
him.
see.
Yeah.
He says it at that time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
think
whole
s-
sequence is very good.
What's
yeah.
even cool is like I think shortly after his other version comes in and starts beating him up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which happens so quick. Like if it's like one
Yeah.
of those things where you're watching a movie, like look at your phone for a second, you can miss it. Like it happens so quick. Buddy comes in, starts punching him out, and then just runs off.
And
right?
that's actually one of the interesting things I forgot to mention earlier during the likes is that these characters discuss all these things that could happen, like these possibilities,
right.
and it's not even themselves that are doing it. It's like the other version
Yeah.
of themselves also
definitely.
had thought of that and is actually taking action on it. And I
Also,
think that's
Alan,
very impressive.
Also, Alan, you probably have noticed this because you've seen the movie the most out of us. I'm sure you picked up on this, but they're also watching the movie, rewatching it after having seen it. Some of the lines actually kind of are very much more significant too for the fact of what you know what's going to happen later on in the
Yeah.
film. Too. For example, there's that scene where they're talking about how she wanted to be a dancer and what happened with her, and the Lori woman's like, "That will you see? She stole your life." Like
Yeah.
just that comment means
Foreshadowing.
nothing really at that time without knowing what's going to happen later on. Yeah, and then it's a little bit of foreshadowing because it's true. Because even though it has nothing to do with what happened, it's just the idea of someone stealing your life essentially is something that actually plays out in the movie. And she says that, oh, she's the one that has your life. She's out there living your life because the dancer got the job. I just thought that was very interesting. The second rewatch, I picked up on that. I was like, oh, that's an interesting line right there,
Well, it's
you
like
know,
that-
put there.
That scene when he says he's banging the wife, right? Like,
Yeah.
but his wife at that moment doesn't really care because she's probably already heard it at one point, right? She didn't really
Yeah.
acknowledge it.
Right.
She didn't really like when he apologized because he was a drunk. She didn't really acknowledge it, right?
Right.
But no, even I mean, I had a scene when he comes in after that drunk Mike comes in. And he goes, I'm just looking for another bottle of wine.
Oh yeah, she's trying
Hey,
to
oh my
find.
God, what a
She's
jerk.
trying to.
This
Yeah,
was his first
she's
time-
like, oh, can you find? I forgot. She's like, can you find something for me? And
Yeah.
he's like, I
I'm
just want to find a bottle.
Wine. Yeah, he comes in with like three
No,
bottles.
but
after.
my thing about the whole like him with the when he's talking to that, what was that guy, the bald dude that his
Oh, Hugh
Hugh.
or Amir. Wait, there's
Oh,
no,
Hugh,
wait.
Hugh. No,
yeah,
the guy
Hugh.
who's like white.
Yeah,
Dr.
Hugh.
Phil looking guy. The Dr.
So
Phil looking
yeah,
guy.
Dr. Phil. Oh my God.
Yeah,
So he like tells him like, oh, I'm from another reality. Like, don't beat me up or whatever. And then he like, this is like the alcohol speaking, where he says, the reality. I basically banged your wife in every reality.
Yeah.
Like he basically was like trying to drag him
Yeah.
out of trouble, but then he just like
Yeah.
went
Drug
right
him
into the
back
deep
into
end.
it.
Oh, he's a
And
shit.
that's
He's
the
a,
alcohol,
he's a
right?
shit
Yeah.
head actor or whatever.
Yeah.
He was the actor of the
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I got acting books. I'm an actor.
You know what's so funny though is like, I guess going back to likes and dislikes. When you have this score of like, what is it, 8 guests at this dinner table?
Yeah.
You kind of have to have like different personalities and stuff. And so Mike is like the jerk off that always like messes everything
Well,
up.
this is if you guys watched Buffy, you would know he was the smart ass character on that show. He was the nerdy loser guy that was a smart ass to everybody. Like, but he was like, you know what I mean? Like
Max.
no, but he was somebody who was very clever and
who are you, Hugh?
got one up on everybody, right? Like, but he was just a smart ass essentially. Like he had the same type of humor that he has in this. Essentially, you know what though? You guys all mentioned good scenes so far, and I'm sure you guys got this on your list too. But my favorite scene, actually, upon the second rewatch, especially, is one Alan mentioned earlier. Is honestly when Emily goes looking in the different houses, and it's like a crescendo of like the music playing, the nice, beautiful music playing, her looking up at the comet, her witnessing all the fucked up things happening in the houses, like that whole scene. I just love how it kind of ends with her finally like picking a house, and then it kind of goes off from there. But like the whole walk sequence, I really enjoyed. Yeah, just again, music and the whole idea of her again was seeing the comet going overhead again. And just how messed up some of those realities were that she was like poking her head in on those houses, right? Because at that point, it seems like she figured out how to actually travel through, I wouldn't say safely because there were still dangers out there, but she was the only one that now that they've actually figured out what that pathway is, she was able to go and kind of like everybody else was busy fighting each other, where she realized like, I've screwed up in this timeline. This is a bad timeline. I need to get the hell out of here, right? And she was trying to find happiness, like Alan said. That was my interpretation of it. She was just like, because she kind of like looked around and she's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna mosey on out the door here. This is bad. Like the two were fighting about the wife, not knowing that he slept with her, and everybody there was a stranger, literally a stranger to her from some other timeline. Like she didn't know anybody there really anymore, right? So she was. I would leave too. I would have been out of there, right? So, great scene. I really like that. But what else, Alan? What do you got?
It's that other scene I mentioned earlier, where she goes outside, trying to get like the ring from the car, and I guess I think Kevin was looking for the book, and she was like, "Oh, did you end up finding the book?" And he realized like, I guess he kind of like got caught, like he was a different Kevin, so he kind of like just stared at her, and that was just so suspicious and terrifying.
Yeah,
like for her especially. That's one of my favorite scenes too, because that's one of the first times you really feel the presence of like someone from the other reality, because the whole movie they're kind of just telling you like, oh, we don't really know who this person is, we don't understand. They could be like what you mentioned earlier, they could be a darker version of ourselves, and like they're always like brainstorming how these people could be. That actually leads into another scene that I wanted to mention, when Mike's kind of like starting to drink and he's not really like, he's just like, I want to go beat up the other version of myself before he gets to me or whatever.
Mike was down.
Dude, he was about it. Yeah.
Well, he knew. He
finds out that there's another reality, and his first instinct is to go kill them all.
He was smart. He's like, we got to kill them before they kill us. Like, he was smart. I mean,
and Amir's just like, well, Mike, how do you think that's gonna go down? Like, you versus yourself. Like, and Mike's just kind of like thinking about it. He's like you can kind of see like, oh, that's not gonna really work out. Like we're kind of even. Yeah, so he doesn't really know what's gonna happen, and he's a little like anxious to even do it. Mm-hmm. But then you see later, obviously, like one of the Mikes actually decides to go out there and take him out. Yeah. It's really interesting how the movie's like well put together in that sense.
Well, the other interesting thing is they had to start thinking in the sense that if I am thinking this way, then my other version is also thinking similarly as well.
Yeah.
And also when they started to piece together, like, well, if this girl is asleep, that means the other one that we saw through the window was awake. That means that this hasn't happened yet in that timeline, right? Like just
Yeah.
like that, trying to like decipher a way to go about it, because they actually had some good ideas. They were just too late to like understand them
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah,
Like even
and
the whole idea of like the different things to put in the box, or told like basically things to recognize which house it was, if this
Yeah.
is your reality or not. Like I liked their ideas. It was too late at that
Did
point.
anyone
You also-
besides M kind of comes to that conclusion that they were like, every time they went out the house, they went to a completely different.
Her and Mike, I think, are the only ones
But
that
she
realized.
told Mike, right? Like,
Yeah.
No, Amir and Hugh were the first to know.
they were the first ones to
Oh,
realize.
that's
because,
true.
Because
That's
they were
true.
hiding their glow sticks. They
That's true.
knew they were in a different house,
That's
but they were
true.
playing it off because they came to find the book.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So because
And
when
then they end up leaving after. They take
Yeah.
the box and they leave.
I'm
Yeah.
like, why are they leaving though? Like to go.
But I guess they
No,
also
they're trying to
couldn't-
go back to their
They didn't
original
understand
house.
that they couldn't.
You
go
couldn't
back.
go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting too is like even early on in the movie, when all this is kind of like beginning to unfold, it's already happening in other realities before
Yes.
theirs.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're already behind. Like it's already happening like
Right,
much earlier.
because we know by the end, obviously, the reality she finds, none of that other stuff has happened yet. So they're not even all
Yeah.
taking place on the same timeline in that sense.
Yeah.
All these separate realities, like they are, but they're not. That's the whole thing with time, right? It's all like, yeah, it's like they're all in the same like. Well, that's that whole thing from the True Detective season 1 with time as a flat circle, where everything happened.
Time is a flat
Everything is
circle.
predestined to happen. Like it doesn't matter. You can try to change the sequence of events, like the way that it happens, but everything will still happen regardless, right? That was the whole thing with his theory in
I
that.
just always
Right?
remember
Yeah.
the Matthew McConaughey on
I
like
know.
Saturday Night Live
the Jim
thing.
Carrey,
Taron Killian,
Oh,
where he's like, "Time is a flat circle."
yeah.
Future, present, ghost of girlfriend's past, or whatever. It's a Matthew
Classic
McConaughey.
McConaughey, yeah.
Oh man, I love him. Yeah, it's,
I also like the scene where they find out that there's multiple notes that weren't stuck to the doors because that they find out there's 4. That's when they actually realize too, there's not just 2 realities, that there's multiple realities, because they're like, how many realities then if you have 2 that didn't go up and then he has 2 from this other house, like how many notes didn't actually get put up on the doors?
They're
right?
like there's 4
Oh.
notes and we hadn't written
Right.
any of them.
Right.
can I just say that Hugh dude? That guy pissed me off so
Why?
much.
You know what makes
Bro,
it
I
even
hate
worse?
this thing. Yeah,
I like
can
Hugh.
no, I like him, but like fucking
Not Lori.
Who's Lori again?
She's
the ex-girlfriend,
Yeah,
right?
she was annoying.
She
She was, like,
kinda
manipulative.
venomous. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is so wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. Trying to make out with him. He's
Yeah,
like,
it keeps going.
I
Then,
know.
no, because the reason that it pissed me off, and obviously this needs to happen in a movie, or otherwise there'd be no story. But whenever some shit happens, he's the guy that, oh, let me go outside and call my fucking brother and shit. I'm like,
Who just happens to be like
if there was a zombie apocalypse happening outside, he'd be like, oh yeah, let me go pick up some store, like some milk. from the
I gotta
store.
say that was pretty convenient though in terms of a plot. He's like, oh yeah, my brother's a physicist and he wrote me this. He has this.
I need to interrupt other people at their house. By the way, if there was a blackout and there was only one house that had the lights on, that shit is getting like ransacked by the end of the night. Like,
Yeah.
That shit would've
Worried
get
if that's the
pillaged.
case, bro.
yeah, they had to have their guns ready, like because they were gonna get a lot of annoying people asking to use their phone. And
How
shit.
about that showdown in the street with the red ones and the blue
Oh,
ones?
that was such a
that
sick
was
scene.
great.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
That's
great.
like very early on in the movie.
Yeah.
You get to see like what's actually going on in the plot.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, just a smart choice because they were just like barely in shadow. Like you could kind of tell it's them, but they didn't really give you like a close up because they were like a little bit in the distance.
They look scarier like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I guess the thing is like every time a scene happens, you think it's like one thing, but then the more information you get, it like finally sort of clears because when they got to
Because we're learning as viewers as well at
Exactly.
the same
Yeah.
pace
When
the
they-
people are,
when they
right?
got
Like,
the briefcase and they had everyone's photo and shit, I'm thinking this is like some like old boy, like someone's
Right.
out to kill them and like they're like or like some Saw thing or whatever. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna get picked off, and then it turns out to be something else. It was just like the
But
Yeah,
one-
you
that's
find out later.
Crazier. Like
Yeah.
there's no possible way to get back to that point. As much as you want to try,
Mhm.
with 8 people, that's whatever number that was times that 8 people. Just at the end of the day, how they figured out that number but then
Yeah, it was in the
times
millions,
eight
it was like
equals-
5 million.
Yeah, now it's
or
only
something.
one person.
Possibilities.
And
But
then-
if anybody who walked out that fucking door, you know, it's got that
But
same possibility.
even like the
That
little
walks into
reveals,
the door.
you would like mention actually out in the first scene that you mentioned, but like because she doesn't. The first reveal is like when she sees that, or not the first reveal, but the major reveal is when she sees the numbers with the green ink, and you hadn't
Yeah.
seen that yet in the movie yet. Like they
Yeah.
never actually wrote that out. We're like, what the hell is this? And then yeah, it just the
And she even
snowball-
mentions like she's like, this is my handwriting, and she didn't
Yeah.
even write it yet. Like
Yeah.
Well, that was the most messed up part
Okay,
about
well-
it too. Is like they literally seen the box, and then even though they saw the other box, they then proceed to make their own version of that same box because they're like, "Oh yeah, of course I have this box."
Yeah.
It's
So
all
actually, the thing about that scene is like some of them didn't even know about the box yet.
right. Oh,
Whereas
because it's
she-
different
she-
houses.
Yeah, she knew, but she just
That's
kind of
true.
went along with it. Like when you watch that scene, like after like a rewatch, you see her.
Yeah,
She gives like kind of a look where she's like questioning it. Like a lot of these characters, they say things that kind of come off weird when you rewatch it, and you see you can kind of tell who's actually from a different house
Mm.
because of how they're reacting,
Mm.
which is very like interesting.
Even
Because you
when-
don't really pay attention to that on like the first rewatch.
Yes.
Or like first watch, I mean.
I mean, for the whole time, I thought it was a dream of some sort, right? Like the whole time, I thought it because the way they played it was like a dream sequence. Just even though
Oh,
they
thank God it wasn't.
no, but
Yeah.
this is what I was thinking about.
I'm not a
but,
fan of dream
But
sequence.
when they started off, right, the whole thing, the whole movie, right, and it started off with just her and the cell phone and then the phone, whatever, going
It
into
cracks.
it. So she was the only one smart enough at the end, if you think about it, to where that final scene. I mean, not that final scene because that's another. It's almost like the beginning leads to the end in a sense. Almost like if she tries to make it come full circle, even though all of a sudden it leaves it open to with that ring that he picks up off the ground.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, by saying it comes full circle, if there really is a body in that fucking bathroom, then she made it work somehow, right? Like in that sense, she figured it out.
No, but that's why he got a phone call at the end.
Yeah, he got it from
she
her.
got up
And
and
left.
like ran away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see this as a viewer, but she's still alive. That one she left.
I-
the
Yeah,
top.
she's not in the bathroom when
No,
they wake up.
she
She's
checks.
already out of the house.
I was confused.
Okay, so she
when,
because he picks up the ring and she's already got one on her finger.
because that's her ring that
Yes,
she
yeah.
dropped. Yeah,
When
he found it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the other girl was supposed to be, but she had
When
already
she
got up.
knocked
No,
out
but
the
she took the
girl,
other
her
girl's
ring
wing.
came off. Yeah.
Yeah.
She knocked out the girl. Her ring came
that was
off.
the girl's ring
Yeah,
that she
and
put
she
in the
took-
tub.
I know that,
And
right?
she took the other girl's ring. So
But-
there's like two rings.
So when she now wakes up, and Buddy comes, you know, to
That
get
was
the
her
ring
on the phone
in
at the
car,
end.
In the car, it was her on the phone.
Yes, that's why
Yeah,
he
her
looked
other
at her
self.
that way at the end. I mean, we've been talking about scenes. I think we've mentioned the end, but the end is really good too. But
That's
yeah,
what I mean.
but
Like,
yeah. But that's
it almost makes you feel like a dream sequence until you see that whole ring part at the end. But I don't
Yeah.
see her run
She
off
does
at
wake
that,
up, right?
that point. Yeah,
we have to as viewers suspect that she got away because she wasn't in the tub,
But we
and then
also-
she calls him at the end. Right? That was the whole thing.
With the
That's why it
the
was.
Skype.
hardest part
Yeah.
too is that
With
you
the
got to
Skype
remember
ringtone.
everybody that came to that in what order they came to that party.
Oh, it's
Because
it's
Yeah, we don't know.
impossible.
Like,
it's
if
hard.
She's only
Well-
coming in at a certain time. Like there's already people there.
You can already, I mean, you can assume that like everyone at that last house never left
Right.
that place
Yeah.
because like it was just kind of beginning there, and
Right.
when she came in, she was telling them like,
That
guys,
doesn't mean
stay
somebody else
inside.
can't come to that unless it's only it has to do with her. If it's only her in that sequence,
But
You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
her collapsing changed the sequence, like the events of what happened throughout
well,
the night.
it went
Like,
all of a sudden from the power going out to the power just flickering, staying on. Like it was,
Right.
it was like not 100%, but then it
not
was,
only
you know what I mean?
that didn't happen in any of the other realities that we had seen so far. That she collapsed and was out for the entire
No.
evening. If she's out for the entire evening, that changes the whole future of that timeline essentially, because that didn't happen in the other timelines.
No,
Yeah.
that we saw.
but this is what I'm saying. This is where it gets very confusing. Does it only involve her as she's coming in the beginning scene, right? It's her they're only talking about. She comes to the party. There's already a few people there, you know, that are talking about what to put on the fucking blah 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 and whatever they're making, and things bringing Lori. Okay, so she already sounds like she's coming off the bad breakup. This is why I feel like it plays out into what she was saying when she was spinning the facts about the asteroid, right? Now, when she comes to that party and starts to realize, we don't know when, like I said, it just rolls up to her talking on the cell phone, whatever, right? It doesn't really show her, okay, falling asleep or whatever, but we don't know. It still leaves it up to interpretation if that, because that's only her, it's really involved at the end. And in a lot of the parts, it takes place in what she was saying about the comet, right?
Yeah.
How it started off. You don't know if that's like, it can play off like that with the ending.
You know
right?
what my question is? I mean, this is so like minuscule, but that chick Beth, does she live with those people? Because why was she showering at their place in the morning? Like, because when she goes into the bathroom, she comes out of the shower. I'm
She
like,
stayed over. I mean, if she's a close
they
friend.
stayed the
I mean,
night. Yeah.
oh, everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody?
At the dinner
Oh, okay,
table.
okay. I thought everyone went home and she just slept on the couch or whatever.
No, nobody had really left, bro. There was
I
just
see,
a dinner
I
party,
see.
right?
Yeah.
So, but this is where it's weird because it does leave it open. Like, could it be because and even with the picture that we have here in the background, it's just her looking at herself.
Mm.
It's not all couples looking at themselves or whatever, because it's really evolving. You know, as we've seen in the first scene, how it says, "Oh, did you know that? Think Kevin's bringing Lori, or no, Yuri's bringing Lori."
yeah. Amir
Right?
is
Amir,
bringing Laura.
Amir,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Here.
Amir.
yeah,
Yeah. So he's bringing Lori, right?
yeah.
So that's where I was like, okay, wait, which way are they going to go with this? And I figured they were really just following her because she's one of the main actresses.
Well, that's
in
the other
movie.
interesting part about it too, is that like Alan mentioned, they all have like these interpersonal relationships and issues going on in their lives and amongst each other as well. And
Right.
like as that progresses throughout the storyline, all this other stuff gets layered on top of it with all the
Yeah.
changing. Like all the things that are changing throughout the actual events of the film. That's what makes it more interesting, is that
Yeah.
there's all this infighting going on
Absolutely.
while this is also happening.
Yeah.
And
One
it-
of
and
the
it-
scenes too, I don't even know if the facts of the comment are 100% true, because one of the scenes she says 1903, and one of them she
Yeah,
says
from the
like
30,
19,
the 20s or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
23 or
And
something.
they say that like a woman killed her husband, and then it was kind of like that.
No, she was correcting Hugh. Like Hugh,
Yeah.
he put out like a fact,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, it was actually this year." Like,
Right.
Yeah. No, I
yeah,
know.
like
but-
she was correcting him. Yeah.
But even she says it again afterwards in another scene, right, where she's gone back near the end now, where she's kind of going through the
Yeah.
cycle, right, where you're following mostly her, right,
Yeah.
through it, right, and kind of where it ends off really with her, right. So it starts with her and ends with her. That's why I'm wondering how much of it is the actual comet that's playing effect, if that's possible. Right,
that's what they alluded to,
they
right?
It
I
messes
mean,
with the dreams,
yeah.
right? It messed with people's dreams.
It's not a dream. I don't know what the fuck
No,
you're
but
talking
it
about. This
messed-
dream
it
theory.
messed it messed with something because it exploded before.
Get off
it hit
of this
the-
theory.
It's not like Inception or some shit.
Yeah.
No, it exploded. Think about it. It exploded before it hit the planet. She was even saying.
Well,
it did,
what
and
I
it
will
caused
say
certain things
is they
that didn't
tried to
have.
give you a more grounded explanation with the
They didn't have
ketamine.
the cell
So, the ketamine storyline was trying to give you, oh, maybe we're just all tripping
You're
out.
tripping out, yeah.
But they
No, I know.
They quickly
That-
dismissed
yeah, that's
That-
right.
that-
No,
that's-
they tried to do something like that at one point.
Yeah, but then she uses it to fucking.
I don't think it
her
was a
own
dream.
self-
though.
That's why I was saying, like, they give you all this, like, all these ideas, and not all of them are like actually like correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just
Red
used to
herring.
kind of throw you off to, like, it's
But
mostly
this-
just for you to pick apart your brain, like what's actually going on.
I would.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
to throw
kinda
you
use
off.
More like a sci-fi thriller in that sense.
Absolutely.
as
Yo, can I
opposed
say
to
something
horror.
though? This Amir, actually, Amir is my least favorite character because, dude, yo, he's bringing his boy's ex-girlfriend as his date to the.
Yeah,
dinner.
that's wild.
What kind of
Yo,
sucker
that's-
shit?
Well,
is
that's
that,
why they
yo?
all talk shit before he gets there. They're like,
Yeah.
look at this
How,
foul
how is this
motherfucker.
guy comfortable
Yeah.
doing that? And he's acting all innocent about it. And
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
like he left that guy. Bro.
I also thought it was funny where they should like, oh yeah, I just got this random photo of you in my bag. And he's
God,
so
that's
butthurt.
crazy.
Amir's like, no one's got a photo of me, and they got to take that photo of him against the wall.
She has a
Yeah.
picture of her.
Yeah,
I
with
know.
her
That's
big
that's
and
wild.
pushing back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm thinking like, yo, how is M not like
Yo,
slapping the
that
shit
was
out of
crazy.
this girl right now?
That was
No, but
crazy.
they also know like Amir's a dick. Like
Yeah.
they mention
Yeah,
it a
no.
few times like
Every
in the
group
movie.
has one,
They
right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Amir and Mike, and
Oh,
and then
my-
so also I guess this is my question. When they find out that Beth and Lee were the only ones that didn't leave the house, Was that the constant in all the universes that like
No.
they were the ones that never left the house?
No,
Or was it just that
nothing's constant.
Nothing's
Well,
constant. Okay, because I mean, there is a constant in the fact that every universe Mike acts out on some
No,
shit.
but
They-
he was
so-
sober in the first part.
Yeah,
He was sober by that point.
but I think they just throw that out there to basically tell you that like there's other universes where they're not the ones sleeping. Like,
But
it's just like they're out of that scene to basically inform you like what happens later. Like that, like, oh, they are still in that house because they slept. They never
That's it,
left.
that house.
well, there is a constant in the sense that like what
That
I mentioned
house.
about Jay. I mean, but like, look, Jay, even when he was sober, Mike, he was like
Yeah.
proposing to go murder the other fucking doppelgangers and stuff. Like,
because he didn't
he
want
was
him
on
to come
some-
back and
he was
Yeah,
on-
but he didn't. He never ended up doing it.
he didn't want the old Mike back.
yeah.
It ended up happening to him. Like he got
And
he got his ass beat by a different Mike.
I guess there's
Yeah.
another constant in the sense that in every universe, I don't know, every universe, Lori is trying to win back her ex, right? Like, she's
Yeah,
trying
but
to steal back-
maybe that one universe that M goes to at the end, like none of it actually happens, and maybe Laurie's like a different person. The
Yeah.
whole point of all these universes, like anything can actually happen. Like
right.
Yeah, and
There-
the
there
more
really
people
is no
that are
constant.
involved. There is
But
no
they
real
had,
constant. It's like a. Yeah, I don't want to say the thing, but I mean it's probably one of my picks for something afterwards. But yeah, you know, it's something that the more people too that are in the room that are let's say at that moment are affected by it.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
say if the comment was causing that to happen, right? Like to make you fucking trip out for that little bit of time, right? But you know, we don't even know that because we don't
Yeah.
even know how much of a fact that really is, right?
I also liked how they started, and this was very well done. I thought it almost is like an afterthought, or like when they start talking about all the items that people put in their boxes. You start to remember, even on like another rewatch, how you've seen other items inside the box
yeah,
even before they bring that other box into play, and you actually see them make the box. How like there was other items in the other box that they didn't question at the time. They bring up the ping pong paddle. I wrote down there was like they mentioned all these
Coaster,
items.
like
Yeah,
like stapler,
a
coaster.
napkin or something like that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that I thought was really well done too, because at that point in the film there's so much going on that you got to kind of really focus on that. That is almost like something you could even like not even acknowledge at that point, but like it's a very important part of like them realizing that that no one there is like from the same house at that point,
Yeah.
right? That's that. So yeah, that was really well done, I thought too. Like there were things like that where again this rewards multiple rewatches
yeah.
for that kind of stuff.
It really
right?
makes you look back a lot, like at what happened earlier in the movie, to like
But
how we
I
reached
just-
this point.
I just echo the thing where it's like, you know, you don't have to overthink it if you don't want to.
Yeah,
I
not
really
at all.
like about this movie. It's not like
But you can.
pull out
It's
a piece of
optional.
paper and like map the whole. No, it's like
Yeah.
Well, that's what's great about it. Like you guys were saying, like if you want to pull on that thread, you can. You can definitely go deeper in that hole if you really want to kind of like map it all out. Like Jay was saying, there's like pictures online, and
4 different versions.
and there's
of
even a video
it.
of the director who like he loves it. Like he said in this short video that I watched, he's like, for years people have been asking me about questions and the theories, and like for me to explain it. He's like, I love talking about it. So
Yeah.
like that's when you know you got something good on your hands,
Absolutely.
right?
When you
Like
have a
that's
conversation,
I was
yeah.
just looking up the comet thing around that time in 19. It says 1908. There was one that exploded. The evidence of a comet impact with most of the fragments, being the Tunguska event in 1908.
Okay.
In Siberia or whatever.
I don't know if that's Siberia. I couldn't tell you.
They made a comment in the movie. They're like, "Oh, there's only like 2 people in Siberia anyway, or something."
You see, but you've seen this in fiction all the time, like this sort of like the power that a comet has. Like comet will like change shit in the world or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's like
Yeah,
a
it says
reoccurring
Siberia.
thing,
It says
kind of.
that.
It's Siberia, yeah.
Earth's
Oh, okay.
atmosphere and exploded over Siberia.
So I mean, this has to,
flattening
you know,
an
they-
estimated 80 million trees across. So what she
80
said
million
was
trees,
real.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is the largest impact event in recorded history to the object.
Well, that was the
Did not
story.
reach the surface to form a crater.
It was almost like they were saying, like
It
it
wasn't
was
that
almost
big.
like an urban legend. How the woman was just like, "Oh, but I killed my husband yesterday," because her husband showed back up at the house, right?
Yeah,
that's
they're
what-
like foreshadowing what happens later.
That's
Well,
right.
You don't know this when you're like watching in the beginning.
No.
It says it was
Yeah.
breaking apart and then exploded close to like 30 at a size of what, only 30 meters. So you can imagine how big it was before it had to get through the atmosphere. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Break it into like little little pieces before that actual explosion. That's pretty crazy.
Does anybody have some quotes they want more quotes they want to throw out there? Or
I think we said all the ones that I had written down. It was that
yeah.
I
No,
fucked
there's
your
a-
wife in
there's
all the
another-
realities
Yeah.
one.
And the
I-
dark we're
If there
the
are a
dark
million
versions of
different
ourselves.
realities. He says, if there are a million different realities, I've slept with your wife in every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing.
That's
to
a crazy thing to say.
No, I don't understand how the guy, like, he should have been killed on the spot for saying some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I
In a
don't know.
million different realities, you don't know what I could have fucking done, bro.
Dude, that's a crazy flag. Like, you have to get killed, like, after saying some
That
shit
There
like that.
there is actually a moment I question in the movie where Mike's
Sometimes
just like
it's
drinking
real.
away.
Yeah.
And Lee goes up to Mike and like sits down with him as he's drinking, and she's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Like I'll love you. I think in like every reality, like,
Yeah.
I'll love you more than any other like version of me."
Yeah.
And then he's just sitting there and he's like,
Crying.
I fucked up. Like it's kind of
Probably
like a
guilty.
weird scene.
Probably
Yeah.
this guilty shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I don't understand?
Yeah.
What this guy's a moron, I guess, because he's an alcoholic or whatever.
Well, they said the
What
mic
was
from a
his-
certain time, like not a certain time, but a
They
place.
said he's kind of like a
He's like
he's
a
jobless and like I don't know, he's not really like doing anything.
I don't understand what the reveal of him revealing to like the other Mike that he slept with Beth was gonna solve, or like I don't
he was
understand.
getting tired.
I don't
of
understand
it,
how that's
probably.
even a form
He was
of
trying to
blackmail.
blackmail him in the sense of like because he was trying to make sure that they don't
Doesn't leave
go
the
and get the
house?
book. That was
Yeah.
the whole thing. They
Yeah.
didn't want him to go get the book, so
Yeah.
like, they could
So
figure
him
that.
telling him,
And
that
it ended up happening to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Set himself
The guy-
up.
one of the lines in that like sequence that I really like is when he's like, "You never told Hugh." Like someone says that to Mike, and he's like, "Yeah, it was on my to-do list."
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Everyone there knew except for him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
crazy too,
crazy.
like-
Oh, I also liked when he talks about where he's like, "Hey, come in. You got cheese. You got ketamine."
No, I like when the guy's like, "Oh, you guys ever heard of Schrodinger's cat?" And then I think it was Amir who's like, "I'm allergic." Or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Beth, two lines I got from Beth, who was maybe actually my favorite character. Actually, she was kind of foxy. I don't know. She was giving me something.
Oh, hey now.
She
Yeah,
kind of
she,
reminds
she
me
had an energy.
She
of that Terminator
yo,
chick.
apparently she's a former Miss America of the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow,
and then-
that I did not know.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and then she
She's
also
actually in a few things. Eh?
she has she did some work with Playboy that I definitely did not look up on the way over here. And needless to say,
She's not.
I'll just say this: she definitely
Wow, Max really did his research for
Yeah.
this film.
The
He never
importance of-
usually doesn't do any research.
Yeah.
This guy's
You're,
like, "Oh,
you're a fan now, eh?
I'm a big fan, and I'll just say this: she definitely voted for Bush. I'll just leave it at that.
Elizabeth Grayson, the one with the
well,
short
yo,
hair. Right?
Yeah,
what was her name?"
Elizabeth
Don't worry, I'll send you
Grayson.
the link, bro.
Elizabeth Grayson.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Elizabeth, yo, she was fire. The main character was also
That woman,
I
really?
liked Lee, bro.
Yeah, he has the.
Yeah.
Lee, oh, with the glasses. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like him with the glasses, right?
Yeah, that librarian shit.
But that actually Elizabeth Grayson, I don't even mean this as a compliment because I think Elizabeth is way hotter than the person I'm talking about. But she kind of gave me like Kris Jenner vibes a little bit, like the
Okay.
mother of them or whatever.
Right.
But like the way she's like, oh, just a whisper of ketamine. Like the way she says,
Yeah, bro.
whisper of ketamine. And then the funniest thing that she says to me is when she talks to Mike, who's an actor who was also on this TV show that they mentioned, right?
Roswell.
Roswell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Which is a real TV show.
they're basically
Yeah.
talking about the fact that this guy's like a failed actor or whatever. And the guy, she says, this is like a backhanded compliment, Loki. She's like, you've sort of grown into your face. Like, that's
Yeah.
a nice way of saying like.
No, because the
used to
best
be
part was
ugly.
like, what episodes were you on? I was on all the episodes.
It's like I was the main I was part of the main cast. Like,
yeah,
But,
that was the best part. She's like, "Oh, well, you know how it is. Sometimes you see somebody on TV and you don't meet them in person."
but M and Beth, yeah. Me
oh
like,
yeah.
Me like
Yeah,
you a
me
lot.
like long time.
For me, it's M and Lee.
Me like two versions of M, right? Like two.
Yeah.
Yeah, M's good. I like M. Yeah,
I wanna be in that universe with the two M's. Like that.
Yeah,
that's a nice-
exactly.
That's a good universe.
That's a good universe.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Actually, he should be happy though. With Kevin at the end, he's like, "Yo, I got 2 M's, bro." Like,
No, straight
Maybe
up.
that's why he had the face like that. He's like,
3.
It's like a dream. It's like a dream come true.
yeah.
Like, yes, finally.
Finally.
But you think Ev would share herself with another Ev? Like, that's what's crazy is like she has to compete with Lori the whole night. Now she has to compete with herself too.
Yeah. And this is like a less damaged version of
Yeah,
herself.
that she hit in the face with a toilet.
Yeah,
thing. Like
this-
that's the.
This is a
Yeah,
less
that's
damaged.
brutal.
Oh, maybe she's not so pretty
Yeah,
anymore.
that's-
Actually, that's a
No,
good
no,
point.
I'm sure it'll heal, but like, how's the path to
sure it'll
forgiveness?
heal.
No, but this
on
is
that?
like a successful version of herself that got her
Yeah,
dream
yeah.
essentially, right? So that's a better
Maybe
version.
she's a little more
She's
forgiving.
happier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not everywhere but the face, though. Come
she
on.
probably puts
She's
out
on
more.
Broadway.
Yeah,
in
but
every universe.
Yeah.
A
That's-
million realities.
that's the perverted version. The JT's version of this would be him peeking in on women in every
Every fucking- everyone. Well, I've been going through.
Just peeking through the window.
How hot is she in this one?
Yeah,
Ah.
let me go to the next universe. They're doing a bubble bath in this universe, right? They're all doing
fuck.
that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh man.
But
So that's all I had for quotes and scenes.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
yeah,
Jay?
no, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any quotes. I was too focused on the scenes, man.
This guy still thinks it's a dream. This whole thing right now is a
No,
dream.
hey, I mean, I'm
this
still
is a
telling
dream
you,
right
dude.
now. You're gonna wake up. Right?
It's all started with one person, man. That's all.
You know, there's a reality where you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one out
I
there.
mean, bro, I'm
Facts.
telling you, it's got to do with her. I think it initially has to do with her. I don't know if it has to do with the comment, but you know, it made me think that. But you know, they're throwing
Haley's
they're
comment.
throwing a lot of fucking apples into the stew and fucking see which one's fucking pop, see which one's. And
Oh, God.
You know,
What's
it's almost like that game at the fucking X, you know, where you get to pick an apple and for like, you know, where, and you see what's at the bottom.
Yes,
Fuck.
yes. It's Tyler the Creator, bro. So what's the next category?
Questions, which
Questions.
we've already been asking a whole bunch throughout this episode. There's one that I did save for this in particular, though, that I have.
Go ahead.
It's basically, if they just stayed inside the house, would none of this happen?
Basically,
That's-
right?
Right?
That's basically what
I'm
they said,
wondering.
right?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Like I said, who ultimately, it really truly, if it did begin with her, then it began with her when she walked in, and anybody who came in.
If
afterwards.
Amir and Hugh did not go for that
it.
walk, I don't think it would have triggered everything that.
No, but I like I'm saying, if it did start with her and she was the first one, and anybody who came in to finish that circle, because those pictures were ultimately cut by her and
Right.
the numbers on the back, they were trying to get it right.
But I guess they would have still had people knocking on
She
their
was the one that
door.
was
They
the
would have
main
still.
focus.
So you're saying
It happened at the beginning of the movie, like
So you
before
were-
they even got to the house.
They've already went into other universes.
Like her phone was like cracking and stuff, and
Yeah.
like it was already happening. Like the comment was already out there.
No, but I mean, they could
Hers
have.
was the first phone to crack.
But they could have avoided
Yeah.
if all of them just stayed still. Amir and Hugh didn't
Hmm.
ever go on that walk. They could have avoided all of
Yeah.
this
Yes,
stuff happening.
No,
what
but
they said
there's
about the
probably-
comment was true.
but then
There's probably a reality where they don't. Like there's probably a reality where they
That's
visit
really-
them.
So, but something had to throw the rock into the water for all those ripples to take effect. Okay,
The comet.
Okay, but that's passing through. But who's it affecting? Is it only affecting the one person? Is it affecting
No.
multiple people at that point? You know what I'm
The
saying?
answer to your question, Nico, is that everyone in
Because
every
one
reality
person
would
has
have to
that
sit
rock is
still,
one solid.
Okay.
basically. No one can leave in any
Going
reality
into a
can leave
river.
their house, and then
Yeah,
But-
but there's probably gonna be a reality where they never left at all, which
But
is
there's
that's
always
the-
going to be
that's
that.
the last one.
that's the last one.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
always gonna be
But
that
I'm saying
hole
in
the middle.
general, like no one arrives, no one leaves. Like it's just like nothing happened
And
Like,
I
because
would,
she arrives at the end.
I would say the last reality, the one that they end up
It was
in,
the closest to that.
is the one,
Yeah.
but it's also the one I think where the blackout was the shortest period. It was just like a flicker and then went back on. Like they didn't have to pull out all the candles and shit.
But,
Like
but that's what I mean. This could have all been somewhat avoided. It would have
Okay.
still happened, but this whole them getting all mixed up into other houses, if they stood still, that wouldn't have happened.
Can I say something quickly before I lose this thought?
Go ahead.
Okay, there is a solid when it comes to dark matter. There is one solid that stays
shit.
constant. Okay, and this is from my nerdy Star Trek shit. So that's why I'm using water as an effect. So you're taking one piece, you're throwing it into a fucking a lake, a
The
perfect
ripple
circle, let's
effect.
say, and you're getting the ripple effect.
Yeah.
But that rock still sits there as the dark matter in that circle, because that circle where it originally is where fucking time got fucked up.
Mhm.
So something had to be thrown into that to make that, and it.
The
But
comet
that's
is
why-
the catalyst.
Do you consider the comet the
The
rock?
comet is the
comet could be-
catalyst.
It could be anybody. It could be anybody.
The
right?
comet is the catalyst.
It could only be the comet.
It has to be.
It has
But
to
you
be
know,
that's
the thing
causing
is-
the ripple
The
effect,
thing
right?
is, I didn't even think until we just started talking about this. I didn't even think that it was the possibility that when M first arrives at the house, that she's already like walked to
Into
the other
that
side of the bridge,
situation.
so to
Yeah.
speak. Because in my mind, it was Hugh when he gets up and he's like, "I have to call my brother," and he's the one that starts.
It's
the whole-
happening before that.
It happens before that.
Oh,
Okay.
see, I thought it was Hugh and
Me too,
Amir
that's
as
what
well.
I thought
The
they're the
reason
ones
why,
that
because
sort of-
hers. The only reason why is because I feel like it was her cell phone that we noticed crack first. But
Oh.
if the comet was going by already at that time, then yeah, that's the ripple effect.
But
Yeah.
remember when she comes to the house in the beginning of
Solid.
the movie, Beth and Lee are already there. They're the ones that are like at the house. So it kind of goes back to the point that they never left the house.
Right.
Like later on, it is revealed, and when they go in that other universe, that they never left the house.
Yeah.
Everyone else is coming towards the house. Hugh.
But even Beth and Lee at the house that they figure that out later on in the movie, that isn't even the same house anymore at that point.
I
That,
think
that just goes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Let's say that again.
even though Beth and Lee, you know, at the end when she figures out the whole thing about them being visitors versus like
They're the only
people-
ones that are
Right.
native to the house.
but that's not
Yeah.
even the same house anymore.
Yeah, they're in a
But
different.
in the opening scene, when
Right.
M walks in the house, only Beth and
Right.
Lee are already at the house.
Right,
So they're
right,
also
right,
like in
right.
that sense
Right,
the native
right,
ones
right.
too.
But at the end, I mean, really, if you really want to get into fucking detail, they all have to go and kill their fucking doppelganger.
Here's my question though. Remember?
Yeah, but that's like an endless amount.
But
Yeah.
remember in the beginning of the movie when they're like, "Let's go check out this comet," and they all leave the house.
Yeah.
So they all left the house, and then when they came back, it's
But
like
they didn't go down the road.
They didn't go down.
It's
the
the
road.
road that's the
portal.
is the portal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially.
but what I'm trying to say is like you don't have to leave the house at all. The other versions of yourself can
Will
visit
find
you.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
that's a good
So
point.
you'll end up in that situation probably no matter what.
In that
Like
house.
because the probability is just too high.
That's
It's
the
like 5
thing.
million.
That's the
Right.
thing. So the only way this
For
thing
each
doesn't get
person.
affected is if nobody leaves the house.
That's what I was
But-
trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
I agree.
that's like not even possible.
If
But
you would've
that's
slept
what
through
I'm
it,
saying.
But I
That's
get
the
what
potential.
Alan's saying is that regardless whether or not they're leaving the house, it'll come to you. Like this,
Yeah.
the event's gonna happen.
There's a version of you that left the house,
So-
unfortunately,
So I
and then
always
it'll spiral.
I always attributed to the ripple, like Jay is saying, the rock getting thrown in the pond started by Hugh needing, for some reason, needing to call his brother
Yeah.
to call
Right.
whatever. But I guess what you guys are saying is that it already starts at the beginning of the movie when she arrives.
So now there's automatically a black hole, and regardless,
Yeah, at the
because
very
of the comet.
jumpstart of the
See, but
There's-
what's interesting about this is these are different theoretical, like these are different
get to, like,
theories and
nuclear-
time essentially. Like we've seen other things in different films where they look at time differently. Like this, the thing that they're talking about in this movie is just one theory about how time works. That doesn't necessarily mean like it's.
Like, think if you
I-
have two circles, they say that you can.
I think you're
you
talking
get
about
the
something
black-
different, is what I'm saying.
But you get that black hole effect in the middle, like when you get in that
Right.
into space. Let's say, let's bring it up all the way up there because we're talking about the comet. But you get that black hole effect. It's the same sort of thing that it caused it to happen in the middle because it caused two forces to fight against each other in that sense, and it created a divide. So there was a divide somewhere, and then maybe they were on that house line. Maybe that
You know,
that walk in between was that house line divide that
Right.
that comet
You know
caused.
what's another interesting thing? I guess this kind of goes without saying because it's obvious, and
Quantum physics
I think
is
it's
never
probably
ending.
been mentioned by one of you guys already. But the whole thing of everyone in their own reality is kind of on a different point in time than everyone else,
Right.
even though it's all
Yeah.
happening because they already get the brief, they already get the box first, and then they don't even know what a box
Yeah,
is.
we made
Yeah, they don't know what it is, but it's
Yeah.
already happened.
Fucking time.
Even things like at the very end of the movie when M goes to the final house, the happy place or whatever, they haven't even had the blackout yet.
Yeah.
Like
That's
so
why
all
she
this-
picked that one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like all these all these realities are all happening at the same time. They're just different
Yeah.
things. They're actually happening in different points. In time.
It's like one big mess too.
yeah,
Like
all
the
that-
time and like the decisions made by each character.
or
Well, we don't
maybe-
even know how many
maybe-
of them are hiding the lie.
maybe the endless possibility too is that the fact that the blackout happens at different points in time for different people, right? So it's like
Yeah.
That's
this
the
will happen
beauty
at
of this
8:30 in
movie.
one universe, 9:20 at another, whatever, right?
That's the beauty of this movie is that like everything you guys mentioned as like what could happen is like it's all
Happening.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
And you
That's
can have an
yeah.
endless debate.
Like there's no wrong answer.
Yeah,
you can
like-
have an endless debate.
Yeah, like
about
we're
this.
literally
Yeah,
going in
we're like
circles
ripping this
at
movie to
time.
shreds as
Yeah.
far as
Yeah.
like with a
It's such a
fine toothpick.
mind-blowing.
But that's fun to talk about,
Yeah.
right? It's fun to
Yeah.
talk
It is
about.
mind blowing, and to know
That-
that it wasn't like I didn't have to go out and fucking look for a big name or anything like that to enjoy a fucking movie.
It's a good premise.
You know,
It's a good premise,
said,
man. It's good.
I thought this would be a
whole
really
role-
good movie to like talk about.
No,
Yeah,
that was a great
good pick.
honestly.
Good pick,
Really
Lisa.
good pick.
You know what? I am really disappointed Julie missed out on this movie.
She
Though.
would've
She
liked
would
this,
like
I think.
this.
Yeah,
I think she would have
would,
liked this.
yeah.
She likes these type of movies. I think where it's like this.
JT's talking about quantum physics.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
Kip
kinds.
Thorne over here.
I don't know if Alan
It's-
had anything. I had nothing.
No, I mean everything that I wanted to ask, we kind of already like talked about.
I figured. Yeah.
JT Hawking or JT
No,
Hawk.
once you get into like this, like I said, even that sci-fi aspect of it, man, it blows my mind away because there's so many possibilities out there, and you wonder, like, because
Yeah.
it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different
Possibilities are endless. JT.
bro. No, but the
JT
whole world.
Hawking or
Dude,
JT
we can be
Hawk
living
Tua?
in the fucking. We can be living in something like that right now, dude. Not even know.
You know what? Okay, I'll just say for like conversations, I don't believe in any of this bullshit in real life.
I'm gonna
like, I
walk
don't
out
think
that
that's a real
door
thing.
and I'm gonna come off from this way.
But you know
out
what's
about.
crazy?
You don't
too?
believe in alternate realities?
Not really.
I do.
I think it's.
I believe in it.
Possible,
Yeah.
I
bro.
think it's science
Yeah.
fiction. Just like, but you know the funny
No,
thing
it's
is,
science
like,
fact, bro.
I mean, prove it then.
This is all
The Earth-
theoretical.
the Earth
at
is
this
flat,
point.
dude.
It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
theoretical, but it is
But,
a
yo,
possibility.
No, but you know what's actually funny is
Just
like,
gotta keep trying.
but you know, okay, I don't believe in it personally, just because I think it's kind of like a fantasy. But the smartest minds in the world believe it, right? And then,
Right.
remember, like in Oppenheimer, they believe that shit. Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein, they were kind of like proposing all this
I literally
quantum
wrote down
theory,
the equation.
endless sort of
The equation?
Yeah,
You just
no, the
equation?
equation. That's what it is.
sort of like
Facts,
the
sorry.
possibilities of the quantum world, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. Like the smartest minds, they believe this.
Yes.
Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these
Yes.
fuckers, right? Like,
Yeah.
but me personally, I just think it's almost the same thing. It's like the alien debate. Like, yes, aliens. There's probably a chance that they.
I believe
exist.
in
They
aliens
literally
too.
said
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
trip-
aliens are out there for sure.
No,
Yeah.
but like here's the thing. Like, there's
One of them sitting right here.
if you talk about, there's an infinite possibility of.
He just accepts it too.
That's
He's like you're talking about me.
He's like, yo, they're on to me, right? Roswell.
I am Keanu Reeves in that new
Bro,
movie coming out.
he's
No,
gonna-
The
Hey.
day the Earth stood still. You know?
yeah, Michelangelo.
Oh my
Hey,
God, he's gone.
Quantum physics, bitches. See, I'm back.
I totally
Bro,
lost my
this
train
one
of
that
thought,
just
but
came
okay.
back on the screen, that's a different JT.
Bro, what glow state do you have, bro? Like, what color?
Okay. The only thing that in that okay, when I was watching this on Prime, 'cause it's on Prime, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you watch it, then they have the general trivia.
It's also on
General
YouTube.
trivia. Sorry.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very low. Like I said, it's easy to find. Yeah. So this one here. So when you're sitting there and where the fuck was I going?
with trivia, they ask on the Amazon
Oh,
Prime.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the
Oh, do they
trivia,
do that?
They,
Yeah.
they actually show the math equation on the people, the amount of people, right? And they say that everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Except for they couldn't figure out the colors of the glow sticks.
Hmm.
The purpose
What does
for
that
that.
mean?
Yeah, the purpose for that. Right? What that
Why they chose those colors?
what what played
Oh,
Well, they
okay.
had.
but the rest of the math equation, and when you do 6 people times 6 and then 8, they have the whole thing. I wrote it down what it said from Prime, just because I thought it was pretty neat.
Look at this guy.
But
Yeah, let's hear it.
Given a physics
Damn.
lecture.
no, honestly, I thought it was fucking cool because I wrote it in a whole bunch of fucking, as you can see.
E equals MC Hammer squared.
No, there it is. 5,380,848 equals, in the brackets, and the fuck
Yeah.
is the equation 6, and then there's a little fucking triangle, half a triangle at the
Delta,
top,
whatever.
8, and then another one, and then asterisk 3. Okay, and they said it's 6. six. No, how did I write this? Six neighbors per. What does it say? Per person with 8 people and 3 glow sticks per house.
Oh,
The colors are questionable.
That's the equation, is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
3 as in 3 different colors, right? 3 different possibilities.
Six numbers.
I think
Per
this is what the
person,
guy
6
typed up
numbers
with
per
the
person.
numbers. Yeah, yeah,
Six,
yeah.
Oh.
numbers, 6 numbers per person with 8 people and 3 glow sticks per house. That's what he figured out in that equation that he
Right.
That actually works out. Except they can't figure out the colors, and this is where that probably leaves it unanswerable for
Right.
this question, and where it leaves it to an infinity.
I know what you're saying here. Yeah, okay.
Thing. So that's where if you tried to do the calculating, it would work out up to a certain point.
You have an unknown figure in the equation, essentially, that you
and
can't figure. You
there's
can't
one that they can't,
yeah,
and that's a part of like a quantum physics type of shit where you can't figure out that ending solution. You have to go through it so many times to get that complete effect of what could happen if you try this out.
There you
something
go.
new. Because they've thought, you don't think they've talked about how they're going to get space and they're going to travel fast. So you can't just go with nuclear power. You got to go with something greater than that. And if they're not testing it around the world already, big corporations, then I don't believe they're anybody. I don't.
Right.
I guess what I was saying about that whole alien thing was like, okay, like if you think about it on a mathematic kind of basis, okay, infinite possibility. Yeah, anything is possible. Infinite possibilities. Yada yada yada. But at the same time, there's like zero evidence, like any real evidence that aliens are, unless you believe that bullshit that happened at the
I'm not saying
the mall in Miami where they
I'm
shut
not
down.
saying
The mall.
aliens,
People were saying
bro.
that was aliens and stuff.
No, but I'm not saying anything about
Yeah,
aliens.
I remember that.
I'm saying about traveling to different worlds because our fucking world's not gonna last.
Do you think time
forever in
travel
that
is real?
sense.
Do you think time
This is
travel is
where
possible?
they're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
How, the
Do you think
furthest,
that's a real thing?
dude. They're
Based on
showing
what
it.
though?
They're showing it on the James Webb.
I can't say.
Just based on like movies and TV shows.
No,
right?
no.
Like,
They're
that's where we
showing it
think-
on the
I can't
James
see.
Webb.
Let me just say from experience.
That's already been.
You've time traveled before?
Yeah.
You've already time traveled this actual
Yeah.
moment right now, bro. You've already time traveled this moment already, bro.
No, but I mean like go back in time.
No, we
Change the
physically
history.
haven't moved, but it's there,
You can
bro.
never change like the past.
If you get
bro.
fast, if you go fast enough, this is why they're trying to figure that out.
Yeah,
You
but they
can
haven't
get
done
fast.
it, is what I'm saying. So this is all just theory, essentially.
Obviously,
Yeah.
bro.
That's why that's my
Obviously,
hang
yes.
up on it.
There you
It's
go.
all
Okay,
theory. That's
okay.
why I say
Explain
this is all.
yourself better next time.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'll bring a math equation that I can barely pronounce.
As someone that
get to
hears
say
that,
to a lot
as
of
someone
people.
that hears that a lot, like he does, that's fair.
Well, like, come on, man. This
Why,
is some
why?
Star Trek shit that I'm into. Like, this is the
His
stuff that gets me
rebuttal
up
is pretty
front.
good too,
You're
though.
basing this on Star Trek. This is like
I'm basing
you
it on
lost your
quantum
argument
Alright.
already.
physics.
You're
We gotta move on. We gotta move
All right,
on.
Basing it on
fine.
quantum
We gotta
physics.
move on.
I'm
This
basing
is,
this
that's
on
right.
Back to the Future. Time travel's real, bro.
that's right. We're going. We don't
Push
need
it.
roads.
Yeah, we don't need. Yeah,
Avengers Endgame, bro.
All right.
and riding the train.
Movie pairings, Alan.
Let's
What do you
go.
got for us here? Did you bring any movie pairings with you?
Yeah, I actually have 2 movies. I don't know if you guys have seen either of them, but one of them is actually kind of weird to me. But I've seen both. So first one I would say is Predestination. I don't know if either of you guys.
Is that the one with Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Hawke in that? Okay, I think I've seen the poster.
Oh no, wait, no, wait, it's
No,
not
Ethan
Ethan.
Hawke's not in that.
It looks like him though. It's not him.
Is not it? Okay, I might be thinking.
I don't think it's him.
No, it is. It's Ethan Hawke.
Is it him?
Yeah, I
Okay,
just looked it up.
I've seen the poster for that movie. That's why
I've
know.
never seen this though. No.
What'd you
But I
call
don't
it?
know anything about
What?
it.
It's a good movie, but it's weird.
Predestination.
It does kind of tie into the energy that this movie kind of like emits.
Okay.
2014.
It's
Yeah.
it's a weird time bend kind of movie.
Right.
Very interesting premise.
Okay.
It's also a little like weird getting into. Like it feels a bit slow in the beginning, but once it starts rolling, you're like locked in.
Nice.
Yeah, that one that's definitely an interesting one. A lot of people pair with Coherence.
Okay.
But another one I like a lot more. I saved this one for last. Is Triangle.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that
I've
movie
seen
up.
that one. That's the
Yeah.
the Bermuda Triangle movie.
Yeah, in the
Yes.
water, with the
Yes.
boat. Yeah, I love
Good-
that movie so much.
Good pick. I actually didn't think of that, and that's a good one. Yeah, that's a very good
I
one.
think you, me, and James watched that one time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it totally gave me similar vibes to this.
And that one's a
Yeah.
horror too. Like
that's a horror. It feels
Yeah.
it's like more of a slasher, but there
Yeah.
is the psychological aspect because
Yeah.
there's these all these movies have like bending of time, and that one I think is like a loop, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Isn't that one also with one of the what do you call it? The brothers, what do you call it? What are their actors' name? The Hemsworths. Yeah, the Liam's in there. Yeah. I did see this one. Yep. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I've seen
That's-
that. A
that's
couple
a
times.
fun movie.
That is like a slept-on movie. I
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
no, that's a
another,
good
like,
one.
gem.
I like that movie.
Yeah, that's another hidden
Good
gem
pick.
for sure.
Good
Yeah.
pairing.
Yeah,
Uh,
those two are the pairings I'd say. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to give?
I think this one, even though it's a totally different vibe, just the fact that this girl was fighting her own version of herself reminded me so much of Us, the Jordan Peele one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when
I had that as one of my
yeah,
picks.
you did. Yeah.
Because of the mirror kind of. I was
But
just
she
thinking.
knocks herself out in the bathroom. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is such a thing.
That's another like doppelganger movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Doppelganger. Exactly.
I wrote that
Yeah.
one down too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really mention any specific one, but I guess like a Christopher Nolan movie, just because of like the whole mechanic.
Yeah, the
There's
time.
there's a few that could fit the bill. I
like
wrote down as
Tenet
well.
or Inception or Memento. Like
I literally
yeah.
wrote down all three of those and Prestige because
Prestige
there's the
is a good one.
doppelganger kind of
yeah, oh yeah, I
aspect
didn't
to
even
that
think
one,
about that
right?
one. Yeah, that's a good
Right? So
Like,
that's
I think with a lot of Christopher
he
Nolan,
loves time though. Like time is an element in almost all in all of his films.
You know, it's not even about just time. It's also like Chris Nolan. I noticed he likes to like introduce a concept and then like explore it a lot. Like as far as like,
Bro.
like changing the structure of
Wa-
a movie. in a sense.
Watch our
Yeah.
go back in the playlist and check out when me and Jay talked about the Prestige.
Yeah.
We went down the friggin' hole talking
Oh
about
my
that
God,
movie,
yeah.
man. Let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
Like that's like one of those ones too you can pick apart because towards the end when you
100%.
find out he was making all these like these clones of himself and all this, it's crazy. I
Yeah.
love that
It's
fucking
basically
movie.
like
That
a
movie's so good.
$50,000
Low
Christopher Nolan
key. That's like probably my favorite. Like Christopher, like, it's in my top
That
three. Right?
that was that used to be my favorite.
I know what
Now
your
it's like
favorite
now
one
it's like number 2. Yeah, my favorite is actually Tenet.
is. Yeah, mine too.
I need to rewatch that.
I
Tenet
love
gets
that
better every time you
Every
watch it.
time.
And
I've
I
only
res-
watched it the one time and I didn't love it the
You
first
have to
time.
watch
I
it
know you've
twice,
said this. I
minimum.
said this.
yeah, I thought it was average the first time I watched it, and then
But-
the more you watch it, it gets better.
But the same thing like this movie in that sense, where you literally have to watch like literally 3/4 of the film until you figure out what's
I-
going on, and then when at least for me, I didn't know what the hell was going on for
I
more
think
than half the movie.
There's a line in Tenet, that scientist, she explains it in the beginning of the movie. She's like, don't try to understand it or whatever. Just let it
Yeah,
happen. Or that's like how you have to like.
that's how you have to view the movie.
With this one too, like Coherence, just let the movie run. Don't
But
try to
that was
understand
one
it.
of those ones where it was like 3/4 in the movie. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing here. It's very impressive, but it took a lot to get to this
Yeah.
point. Like it's very
Listen, I
meticulous.
had
like
I actually thought that was the worst Christopher Nolan movie when I first.
I wouldn't
saw
say it's the worst, but it was
Yeah,
one of
me
my
too.
least
Or
favorite.
at least like in this new big budget era that
I
Chris
would-
Nolan is in. Like if you don't compare
Yes,
his early shit or
absolutely,
whatever,
absolutely.
I was like, this
Yeah.
is the worst movie. And then we watched it because they had
Okay.
like a re-release in 9
I'll
or
take
70
your
millimeter.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
You-
70
Holy shit, I was
millimeter.
blown
I'll
away,
take
bro.
your words for
And
it.
you know who's the
Yeah.
first person to really champion that movie? Denis Villeneuve. He was like, yo, this is a masterpiece or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Well, that's the thing. It's not that I didn't find it impressive even upon the first watch. It was just like it felt like so much work for
Yeah,
like
totally.
like a James Bond ripoff type film with like
Yeah.
like kind of like with like time elements in it. And,
Yeah.
I know I'm diminishing it. I need to rewatch it. I really do.
It's
But
like,
yeah,
Inception, like on steroids. I described.
but
it.
I
Like,
loved Inception when I first saw it. The first
I
time.
didn't. I didn't.
But I watched-
I needed a
Yeah,
second.
I needed to watch it twice.
I was the opposite. The first time I left the theater after watching Inception, my mind was
You
fucking
totally
blown.
understood it the first time you saw it. That's like impressive because I didn't.
That's really impressive.
I understood it for the most part, but again, just like we're talking about here, I had to continue to think about it and learn more about the film, and then I had to watch it again, and then I got more from it. So yeah, but I had a basic concept of the film the first time around, yes. So, but that was because I was so locked into that movie, right? But we talked about Tenet. Tenet came out at a weird time. It was like middle COVID when it came out, right?
Yeah,
so
it was an
like,
awkward release.
you
I think he
know.
should have held off in the same way that like Tom Cruise did.
Oh,
for
that
Top
was
Gun.
this whole. It was a criticism people had at the time because they're like, he was like, "Oh, I'm saving cinema," and everyone's like,
He in a way he did. in a
No.
sense. People did come out,
But it was a
Yeah.
criticism that
Yeah.
was had at the time because of that, right? But
he even
anyway.
left Warner Bros because they were doing
Yeah.
that straight to streaming shit. He's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I'm not about it."
Yeah,
But
my
what,
movies want to be seen in theater, but
what do
yeah.
you have for pairings?
I had all those like you. I pretty much had everything you said. I also had. I talked about this actually with Limitless, which is a no. I said I used this pairing when we talked about Limitless, but Primer. Have you guys ever seen Primer?
Oh, that's actually what I wanted to mention in the beginning. This movie, Coherence, was inspired by that movie.
There you
I
go.
was gonna say,
Primer.
Primer.
Primer is an indie film as well. That's like an
Yeah.
hour. That's made by like guys like it's a very low budget indie film, and Julie's actually the one that put me onto that. The whole thing is about time. Like it's basically they're physicists in that film.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you gotta watch it.
I gotta get. That's been on my watch list for
It's
like
also
10 years.
you can
now.
also
I
find it
gotta
on
go.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
as
I
well.
haven't seen it myself, but I know it heavily
is-
inspired Coherence.
I'm so happy to hear that because like it is the perfect pairing for this film in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like
Check it out.
honestly, like it is way more technical than this. It's the opposite of how they dumb it down in this movie for you, and that one they do not. Like
Yeah.
it's like you are probably not going to understand that film watching it the first time. I've watched it twice and I still don't think I fully understand it, but it's impressive. It's an
I guess.
impressive.
I
movie.
guess you could also throw in Donnie Darko as far as like alternate
Sure.
timelines.
Yeah,
and shit
sure.
Like that. People have like charts with that movie too.
Yeah.
Donnie Darko.
Uh,
Have you seen that one, Alan? By the way.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just put down, even though I've never seen it, because they mentioned it in this movie, Sliding Doors, because that is a
They
film
did
where
mention it.
they
What
did
is that
mention-
movie? I didn't even hear. I didn't even know about
well, they even reference that on the Rewatchables podcast. They always say this sliding door moment where if somebody chose one movie over the next, and then their career trajectory is a whole
Oh,
different
I
thing
see.
than what it would have been if they
Oh.
picked the other movie. So it's like a term people use. It's a film where I guess they examine like choices made if you took one path or you took another one. But I've never actually seen
What
it.
did that girl say? Beth say like that's a useless door. Don't use it.
Yeah,
I
she
didn't know
said
what
something along that
She was
line.
on that feng shui
Yeah,
shit.
I also put down the Community episode, Remedial Chaos Theory. Did anybody ever see that? Where there's a die that they throw, and they theorize that in each way, like I think they're talking about who's going to buy the pizza or something like that. But
Okay.
they
Oh,
Community
yeah,
used to do
multiple
fun
timelines
things.
and
Exactly.
The darkest timeline.
exactly,
Yeah, I
and they
remember
talk
that
about there's
episode.
6 sides of the die, so there's 6
But-
different timelines, and they mentioned the Schrodinger's cat thing, like in that one as well.
You know, now that you mentioned a TV show, one that is actually Alan showed it to me. That episode of Black Mirror with
Which one?
the History of You one, the one where they have like
Oh
the
yeah. The
Yeah.
memories.
just because the fact that they're all at a dinner party and they're all gathered
Yeah.
and then things gonna get awkward and stuff like that's a similar vibe.
And,
I had a show too, but I didn't
Go
know
ahead.
we were like gonna recommend
Oh,
them.
throw it
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there, throw it
yeah.
out
So
there.
I think a perfect one is if you guys ever heard of Dark.
I haven't watched
Oh,
that. Jay
yeah,
has.
Better one, no, is Dark. It's a German.
the German show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Oh.
good, and it's
I've heard
never
great
fully
things
watched
about it.
I've never because I didn't have the Netflix at the time to actually get that English upload because I hate reading fucking subtitles.
it's so worth watching it in German though. It's amazing. Like I like watching stuff in its native like language.
I don't think this guy can read though. That's
I just don't want to read it because sometimes I mean whatever. Let it fucking be said. Like who knows? I
Yeah.
don't need it, right?
I used to watch too much anime, so I already built up
Yeah.
like
yeah,
the strength to read all subtitles.
Dude, I gotta read it and I gotta watch it at the same time. Like, you might as well just read a book.
for a,
You know what I'm saying?
and
Like,
for a
fuck.
fun final
Can you do
pick.
this? Can you do
But
this
no,
thing?
I mean, there's also another TV show, even like Dark Matter, that Apple
Yeah.
version of it. They have an Apple version of something like this, which was Dark Matter. Right,
Uh-huh.
that's a TV show that's good. It was only one season, and it's
I mean,
basically the
this
same.
this
the
movie
same
kind of
sense
reminded
about-
me of like a Black Mirror episode or like a Twilight Zone type of thing.
But that's what I
Like,
always say. Like I can for like a pairing or something. You can use so many things. You can use.
Absolutely.
There's a Sandra Bullock one, Premonition. There's
Oh yeah, yo, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
where
one.
her, she wakes up and her husband's like he's dead.
That's a
one
good
night and she
movie.
wakes up and he's alive. So there's that one. Then you get like stuff like the butterfly effect with like
Oh, Ashton Kutcher.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that movie too.
because it's basically what happens.
There you
You're not
go.
gonna
You
see that when
finally
get back
figured
there.
out movie pairings. It only took an episode.
But then you can go to Star Trek and just go.
We're back at Star Trek.
No, but hey,
Yo,
then you
he's a Trekkie, bro. He loves that.
He
shit.
loves Star
You can
Trek.
just make believe that it's actually come true.
I'm
at
actually
one
surprised
point,
he hasn't picked any Star Trek movies.
Yeah,
as
what's up
picks.
about that?
Yeah.
because it's hard to pick which ones I want.
What's your favorite Star Trek movie?
Like right now, I'm just loving the way they're playing this new one out. This is the remake, the one that's coming out
show.
now. But I mean, what?
Yeah, don't get into that
Yeah,
now.
well,
We're
yeah,
trying to.
Wrath of Khan? Or?
But you ask
good
me at
one.
a later show.
I haven't seen
But
any
yeah,
of
you know
Search
what I
of
mean?
Spock's good too.
I will one day pick one. I just haven't
Okay.
decided on which one. No, that's
Looking forward to that.
And then finally, as a fun pick, I picked "This Is the End."
even multiple.
Because-
Okay,
because-
yeah.
Just
all
because
right.
like all this stuff that's going on outside the house, they don't really know what's going on when
Don't
they're in
Look
the
Up.
house. Oh, don't look up. Yeah,
Look Up.
yeah.
You got multiplicity
like
with
that one.
fucking what's his name?
Oh, Michael Keaton.
You know, he just he keeps multiplying himself. That one too. I just went to comedy on that sense,
Mhm.
right? Like I'm just thinking now, right, randomly, how
Yep.
many you can relate to this type of film.
What
Yep.
about I mean, I don't personally don't really like this movie, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, like the multiple universes and
Oh,
shit.
Yeah.
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but
But I
that
don't think I would pair
It works.
the presentation of
Doctor
the
Strange.
idea in
Doctor
that
Strange.
though is not as fun as this. Like
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
little bit overdone. You know what I mean? Like it,
Yeah.
I know
Fan
everyone
movie
was
person.
praising it.
Yeah.
It's a fine movie,
okay.
but it was overdone in my opinion. Like it wasn't fun like this where they gave you like a simple premise. That was just like, you know, that again, it just hit you over the head with it in that one where they're like, oh, look at all this crazy stuff that's
Yeah.
going on in this movie,
Very
right?
maximalist.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the perfect word for it.
You know,
Yes.
I can't really think of the ones you guys talk about, the smaller like indie ones. Like there's some names that I don't know. I was up to hitting big blockbusters out there that I was thinking that's
No, you had good picks
No,
there,
no,
actually.
yeah,
You had
those
good
are
picks.
good picks.
because really it all kind of relates to that unanswered theories of anything
Yeah.
in life, right? There's so many possibilities for anything right out there. It's endless, right? Even in our everyday life, bro. You don't know from this second till I walk out Nico's house what the fuck's gonna happen.
Well,
Now,
that's
got
the
me
whole
tripping
theory,
out,
right?
Like,
There's
I
all these
walked in
different.
here, but which guy am I walking out to?
Yeah.
I walked into the smart GT, and maybe I want to stay back
Oh, really? It's all a dream.
here. Fuck.
Think about that.
Yo, I'm gonna wait till the
Uh,
JT walks in and kick his ass, and that's it. bro.
Take
I'm
his
taking
life.
this
Take
life
the perfect
right now.
life.
Alan, why don't you take it away? Do you have what would you consider the legacy of this film,
Oh man, that's a tough one.
if any? You don't have to have one if you can come up with one, but this one's a little hard.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
easy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's sort of.
I can give you one.
Go ahead.
Go no.
Yeah,
I-
you take the floor. Honestly, I'm stumped on this one right now.
It's so easy. I've been saying it the whole night. It's endless possibilities, bro. That's the legacy
I like
of
it.
this movie.
I like it.
I think the legacy of this movie is like, yo, budget does not matter.
Yo,
And if you
Yeah,
have
you've been preaching that. Yeah.
because this is a movie I think will like actually stand the test of time for that reason, because it's like, wow, look at what you can do with just a simple sort of like, not a simple premise, but like a simple like ingredient
plan.
list, you know, like you just living room, you got your friends, you can make a movie,
Yeah.
right? And so there you go.
I don't know how to like convey
I
this
like that
too
one.
well in. I don't know how to convey this
It's a
too well
movie.
in like words, but I appreciate movies like this where they improve on rewatch. Like they keep
Yeah.
getting better. Those are
Rewatch.
movies I really like appreciate the most. Like as you watch them, they keep getting better and better, and you keep finding more things.
They're more rewarding upon
Yeah.
each watch.
It's
Yeah.
it's such
You-
a very like
You know
rewarding.
what's even more
experience.
rewarding too is that when you can talk about and discuss a movie with people that's actually longer than the fucking movie,
Yeah, which
Yeah.
we just did.
right? Oh, that was a glitch. See that? That's a fucking. I had a
Yeah.
glitch.
You
That
JT
was-
just
that was
appeared.
crazy. See, this is back to dumb JT now. Oh, seriously.
You give
Um,
yourself too much credit, bro.
But Star Trek.
But yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's just it is it's just crazy, bro. It's an
Oh,
it's
for
an endless
sure.
fucking world.
Well, then kudos to Alan for picking this.
Yeah,
Honestly,
great-
good
great
job,
pick,
Alan.
honestly.
You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
literally-
I haven't heard this motherfucker talk this much in forever. You
Yo,
actually
you know
could
what it
tell,
was,
Alan, that
bro?
this guy actually watched the movie.
I-
Most of the
I-
time, this guy
wait,
he
wait,
listens
wait,
to the
wait.
movie.
Holy
I got
he
a
looks up.
confession.
He,
Offensive.
he looks up the
I
plot
got a
online.
confession. I got a confession. I knew it was only an hour and 25 minutes. I got down here early enough because I had to pick up some fucking medicine.
And he watched it in the
And I
car.
watched it in the car in the back. I sat in my
Yeah.
car, I didn't pay for parking, and I just watched it, dude. And I literally got that
Guy's
much information
disgusting.
just from watching it that quick. You see,
I'm-
if I waited another couple days, I would have totally forgot about this fucking movie. It doesn't matter how many notes I wrote, bro. I even wrote notes too.
How about you stop doing that and half-assing it? How about
No, but
that?
you know what? This is no. The other times I actually sit there and I focus, but this time I just had to do it quick, and it was so easy, and I didn't even realize how intrigued I was gonna be in this.
I had a
It
feeling
makes
you
me
were gonna
want
like
to
this
watch.
movie a lot.
It makes me want to show the girlfriend this movie.
I
because
will say
think
the movies that
she'll
we've
like it.
done that we have to think and actually have this sort of discussion on the most.
I mean, he picked Limitless last time.
No,
so
but
least
like,
amount of work.
but like there was movies like, for instance, like I said, we talked about Prestige, or we talked about Ex Machina. Like, there's
Right.
I wrote
movies
down
that
6 pages, and look, most of that shit came top of my fucking head. Bro.
there's movies like that where he really taps into those certain elements where you actually got to think of stuff.
I mean, I just want to say, like, Alan, thanks so much for like recommending this
Straight
to me
up.
for so many years, and like I'm
Yeah.
glad I finally got around. And this is a movie I'm gonna look forward to like revisiting when I get the chance for sure. Like I'm happy.
No, I'm so happy
got
that
this in the
like
cut,
you enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
thank
literally
you.
said to people, I'm having a hard time watching this movie. I'm having a hard time. And I didn't realize once I got past that fucking 15 minutes, not even 10, 15 minutes, I was hooked.
Yeah.
And I like that you don't have to like, and I know like this is always happens. I always like repeat myself 100 times, but I like the fact that you don't have to overthink it. It doesn't like
Yeah.
doesn't have my brain hurting like, oh my god, what's this? Like, you know, it's like a great high like concept movie that you can kind of let go and just let it ride, and that's what it's very like comforting in that
yeah,
sense,
because some
you know?
movies are daunting to watch because
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's
here,
what I
here
feel
we
about that
go.
primer. It's probably why I haven't watched it, is because I understand it's so like
I will say
you're gonna
the-
have to pull out your notebook.
I
to,
will
like,
say it really is, but it is only in like an hour, that movie, so it's like you could watch it like it's
Right.
it that has that going for it.
I don't want to have to pull out a notebook while I'm watching a movie and like hey,
Well,
what's
this was
See, but that's when I don't mind looking up theories online after the fact to
Right.
reinforce what I need to know about the film and actually add to the conversation or actually understand the movie better. There's some movies I don't like to be told the interpretation of it because I would
Yeah.
rather my own. But then there's other movies where you get to a certain point, like maybe where Alan is after watching this 8 times, where I'm like, I need to figure
See the other
all this
theories,
out.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. There's like so much to go through.
right,
I'll
right.
be honest too. That's another thing I had to do just to get past that first little bit, just
Right.
to see is this what kind of fucking movie is this worth watching? Like
Yeah.
fucking.
How about you just watch the fucking movies that are silent?
No, sometimes there's movies that you have a hard time getting into at first, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like-
Honestly,
It felt. That's why I had to look up afterwards too that it was a little lower
Guys
budget,
hiding
because I
behind
felt like
buildings,
somebody
watching
was
movies in
fucking
cars.
filming it, like- no, I
Peeking
felt like
behind
somebody
people's
was
windows
filming
and
it,
shit.
right? Like, you know what I mean? It was more low budget in the beginning, so I needed to
JT,
check.
who stole your perfect life? That's just the question I want to know.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Man.
He's out there.
He's out there.
He's out there.
My
TJ
perfect life
probably.
is right here, right now, man. You don't even know. I think I'm in the right life, bro. I think it's all because of
TJ.
Alan came into it today, man. Alan.
honestly, I've recommended this movie to like so many people, and
Yeah.
maybe like
Recommend
10 people, and they've all told me they love this movie. So
Nice.
I felt pretty confident like sharing it, and
I'm
I was
gonna pour out
honestly
your
kind of
other-
floored that you guys like invited me to this
I know.
show.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need something to like
Good pick,
impress
Alan,
you guys. Yeah,
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
check-
kind of like a good first
Well,
impression.
you passed the test. You're
Yeah.
welcome back anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm not
No,
gonna
this was
keep your
a
letterbox.
really fun time.
You know, if you want to replace Max now and then.
100%, bro. I'm getting
Straight
sick and
up.
tired of these motherfuckers, bro. Honestly,
Bro, no one respects his draft picks.
save me, bro. And then they can abuse you, bro, instead of me.
Yeah,
You can get some of this abuse.
I'm gonna have JT on my case soon.
Dude, no, it's all good. Everybody
Whoa,
abuses
Doesn't
me.
get off
his name
there.
is TJ now. What happened?
Yeah, straight up. Hey,
Did you
yeah.
take that or did he? That's
Oh,
the evil
man.
version of Jay.
But I'm
He
gonna,
ulted it.
I'm gonna
Earth 66.
He's gonna come through.
Earth
He's gonna,
60
he's gonna be
Earth
wearing a
69.
different hat. Yeah,
Earth 69, yo.
he's gonna be wearing a
Are you sure
hat.
he's not one of my children?
But yeah,
I think the evil JT would have like, you know, like the evil version has the beard. The
Yeah.
evil version of Jay is clean
yeah,
shaven. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, vice versa. See that?
All right, so we've come to the point of the show where we announce the
Yes.
next pick now. Alan, great pick once again. Come
People
back
can't wait
anytime.
to be on the next one. Come on, let's do this.
Absolutely.
Go.
So, are
I
you
can't
missing
wait.
out on the next one?
I don't know. I'll let you know. Maybe Alan can fill in for me.
Well, I was gonna
Well,
say
maybe, I
if
don't
you're
know.
missing
I'm
out
gonna
on the
creep
next
out.
one, I don't know if I want to pick this one because I figured you may want to join for this one if that's the case.
I'm gonna creep Alex's That's
Well,
Alan's
well,
fucking
I don't know
letterbox.
because it's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
So it's gonna be a few weeks probably
Yeah,
from
that's what
now.
I'm
Yeah.
saying,
So
yeah,
okay.
so-
So my pick. We've been talking about it a
I
lot
think
lately.
can I guess what it is?
Go ahead.
Collateral.
Yes.
Yeah. I just
reason,
in my
bro.
mind.
We've been
Crazy
talking
guess.
about it a lot lately. The Michael Mann classic, Collateral.
Yo, Alan, have you seen that one?
No. I've
Oh,
only
it's
seen
fun.
Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you would really like Collateral, bro.
Yeah, Collateral.
I think you really like
It's
that.
really. I mean, I love that movie. We've been talking about it a lot lately, so I'm like, you know what? And we need some more Michael Mann on the show. We need some more Michael Mann.
Never
so
enough, bro.
Man's the man. So the only other man
I'm a fan of man.
we've a fan of I'm a fan of Man. We've done 2-man picks, I think, on this show. We did Heat,
He's a man.
and we did and we did
Manhunter.
Manhunter, and we were both your picks actually. Before
Heat was your pick.
no, Heat was your pick before you were even on the show.
No, Heat was your pick, and then
Oh,
I just came
Oh,
on the
you
show.
joined
I
us.
joined
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna change my name back, bro.
No, leave it, Nico. Leave that shit.
So Collateral
Damn, bro.
Collateral will be the
You've been dubbed. Bro.
Collateral will be the next
United.
pick. That's my pick on the show. Michael Mann movie. Definitely go check it out. Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, even what's her name? That
Oh, this is the one that takes place in like a car, like.
Yeah.
I think I know about
Alan,
this.
Watch
Yeah.
that shit.
it's honestly one of my favorite Cruise movies. He's so sick in this movie. I was never a big Cruise fan before, but like this movie started to change my
I've
mind.
seen this one,
Bro, this movie's sick.
It's a classic.
This movie's sick. I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to talking about it, but I'm looking forward to Julie coming back and shitting all over it. But anyways, Collateral. Me and Max have been talking about it a lot lately in the chat. Like how much
the Hawks in it.
we dig it. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is in it. Yeah. Also, what's his name? Not Benicio.
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem's in it. That's right. A lot of people in this movie. So yeah. So make sure to check that out, guys, if you've yet to do so in time for the next episode. And yeah, thanks again to Alan. Alan, anything else you want to add here? Anything you want to add with to the audience before we go?
No, I just honestly just had a really great time talking with you guys, sharing the experience like with this movie. It's always great to hear people like appreciate it, and it was really nice to break it down too. Like I also got some new insights and stuff, so there's so much you can learn from this movie, and I just really appreciate that you guys appreciate it, and
Absolutely.
it was just a blast, honestly. Yeah.
Great pick. Yeah, no, thank you, Alan.
Straight up.
That's
Yeah.
a great
Thank
pick.
you so much. The first
Yeah.
of many, bro.
And thank you, Max, for inviting Alan on. You know, we're getting a little jealous over here. I'm just like, oh, you're movie watching boy. I'm like, where's he at? You know, I see you guys going out watching all these movies, the letterbox reviews. I'm like, bro, let's bring this guy on. I'm like, why are you holding Alan from us? I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't want him to expose you.
I'm like, the man likes movies, does he not?
I watch
I'm
way
like,
too
I
many
have to-
movies.
I have to
It's almost like
suffer-
daily.
I have to suffer on my own. I don't want to put my friends through this shit.
I have a question. I'll say for the next show.
What's that?
Don't worry, I got a question.
Okay.
Alright.
Guys,
Alright.
you could also catch Alan on we're going to be doing a late night letterbox show, our final one using that format, so stay tuned. We are going to be changing up the format and the approach of that show, but we're basically going to still be doing a format where we talk about what we've been watching and all that kind of stuff, so make sure to tune in for that as well. Alan will be joining us as well on some movie trailers. Make sure to check out the playlist. As always, like and subscribe. And thank you to everybody for tuning in. Max, thank you for arranging this. And thank you to Alan for this pick. Great pick, Alan.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Later.
Peace out.
Take it easy.
Welcome to the show, everybody.